Twitch culture as well. Honestly, I think that's why people like Aiden Ross and Jason and the are so popular, because they exist outside of this paradigm. They don't need this like old guard of Twitch, because that is really like,
I think something just
Twitch
broke.
is like first gen is kind of like risen up and is kind of like plateaued, and now there's like this second wave of like these like screaming hearted zoomers that I love. Like, I mean, like Kai Cenat, iShow Speed, Jinxie, Queso, right? All of these people are like a new wave of streamer, and they're like kind of in a part of the same genre of people, and they're all very personality based, which I think is also nice.
I don't know, I feel like they're all personality based. Yeah. If you want to be a successful streamer, you need to be personality.
Well, you say that, but obviously you can be really good at games.
Before you say, that is true, but the vast majority of the big streamers are not known for their gaming ability, right? Asmongold, Pokemon.
That's true.
Are you kidding?
These guys are like big gamers.
Like World of Warcraft. Come on now.
Yeah, but he's not famous because he rocked World of Warcraft.
Yes, he is.
He
yes, he is. No, he's famous for, he was famous. He was famous for, you know, I was an Asmongold fan for a long time, and I still am. Like, you know, like, he was famous for his mount-offs. He was famous for the mount-offs long before he was ever famous for like, React content. React wasn't even that popular when he was famous. He got famous for WoW. I remember. I remember seeing him do a video about a rogue one-trick macro for Legion or something like that. That was 2015. That was long before, long before React content. And this little kid who wasn't even like probably old enough doesn't remember. Actually, no, that he's not a little kid, but he seems young to me. Like, I don't know. Seems like maybe 24, 25, something like that. And that's okay, but it's just like he seems young to me a little bit. Not young, naive, like a little naive, a little bit. Asmongold will be famous for React content, but I mean, he will always be remembered as like the #1 WoW player, you know? He'll always be thought of as the #1 WoW player. He was the one that broke out and continued on to like a mega career, you know?
But,
I hope to do the same. I hope to break out of WoW and maybe build a mega career over the years. You know, I don't have the same achievement points he did because I quit in 2015. You know, but I had a real life. I've had many more girlfriends than him, etc.
Comes down to personality.
Probably not now. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Has he been dating? I don't think he dates. I don't know. He strikes me as an asexual type now. But like, yeah, like, you know, it's been now for me 2.5 years, I think, since I've been with a woman. But I mean, like, for him, bet it's longer.
For gaming, but
Or let me think about that. I don't know. Yeah, it's been 2.5. No, it's been about 2.5 years. Yeah, 2.5 years.
But I think the top guys are always not. They're gonna be the.
I was thinking about going back to town and like in the summer. I have a nice house and a nice bed and money and stuff. I'll probably do better in the dating scene than I've ever done. With every time I ever had a girlfriend or whatever, I would take her home to my crappy bedroom in my crappy apartment that I shared with 2 to 3 other dudes, you know? And it's like we could never get privacy and you can't fuck like animals because it's loud and, you know, and I always had kind of a life like that. And so now I've got my own house where nobody could hear me screaming if they wanted to, you know, and I love it. And I got my own house, and I've got a nice fucking 110-inch television screen. We can watch movies all day, fuck like rabbits and shit like that. And who cares? And I'm in like some of the best shape I've been in like almost my life. And I'm doing like, well, not life, but just like in years. I'm in like some of the best shape I've been in like 10 years. And I'm feeling good, and I'm spry, and I think I probably if I were to return to the scene, I would do pretty well, and I can say things like, yeah, I'm a budding streamer with 5,000 follows or whatever it is, and 10,000 videos on YouTube. And it's hard to break through as a new streamer, and I started in 2022, so I probably have to do like 10 years of hard work before they'll recognize me. But I live on a fixed income, and I'm a good bachelor, and I'm thinking about going back to the dating pool. I sat there with a broken heart, pining for a girl for 7 years. I was even with her for some of it, you know. I lived with her for 10 months and stuff. I'm still pining for her. I hate saying it, but like I hate admitting it that she's got power over me. But I mean, I do. Like I'm in love with my best friend, but this is not new for me. This isn't some shameful thing that I'm admitting like right now. I have always been in love with my best friend. It's always so stupid. Not my best friend when it was a dude, but every time I had a girl around or whatever that I was really in love with, they were like my best friend, and I was always in love with them. It's stupid. It's the stupid archetype that I always have. I'm like the dude who's in love with his best friend. It's so stupid. And so yeah, and so like, and then I'm just done pining for her. I'm just gonna go back to the fucking scene and find somebody else now. I'm done waiting. You know, I told her too. I told her like 4 months ago. I was like, I'm done waiting. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do this. And she was like, it's okay. It'll be a while. I was like, yeah, it's good. You know. We had that kind of relationship where I fucking DM her one day and I'm like, I'm not waiting for you anymore, and she's like, I do not blame you. And I'm like, okay. You know, it's like, I'm sorry, it's just, like, my heart's loyal to her until someone else replaces it, you know? That loyalty, my heart's loyal to her. It's probably will be for a while unless I meet somebody new. So, but it's stupid, like, it's really dumb to be sexless. I think it's dumb. It's a dumb thing to do to yourself. You don't have to be sexless. It's not ever necessary, in my opinion. You can easily put on a nice suit and a pair of sunglasses and go down to the club and be the mysterious dude who never talks. And you'd be surprised how many of my friends did well doing stuff like that. You could just be the mysterious dude who kind of tags on. It's like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And it's like, oh, this mod dude in a black suit is offering to buy me a drink, and he's like, I'm just dancing. I don't want to pressure you or nothing. And then the girl's like, okay. And she realizes that the dude is actually kind of cool. He's just terrified of talking to anybody, and that's not my problem at all. I was saying, like, that's the problem with like incels is it is voluntary. It is entirely voluntary, in my opinion. I hate saying, now I'm not trying to downplay it if they're having a bad time with it in their lives. But in my opinion, it is almost now. Some people have problems. Like I know some people with agoraphobia that struggle with sex because they can't leave the house. You know, I don't have that issue. But like a lot, I mean, I left the house today. You know, but I mean, like, the bottom line is like, like some people. I have a friend who I don't want to say who it is, but I have a friend who was like, I haven't left the house in 15 years, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. That stuff is generally not voluntary. But even then, even then, it's almost never voluntary. It's kind of weird. It's like, I'm sorry, it's never involuntary, you know. And I feel that way now. I'm like, there's no reason why I can't go meet somebody, like, and maybe have a date like once a night, once a week, and tell them like, look, I'm a budding streamer. I don't know where it's going. I don't know if I'll ever get anywhere, but, I'm just working every day, 14 hours a day, and the only time that I have is like on a Monday or like a Sunday night, maybe a Friday or Saturday night, but like mainly like one night a week, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. You pick or choose. It's your choice. But for me, it would be preferably be Sunday. I told my mother this the other day. She was like, I worry about how small your world is down there. And I was like, I don't have a small world. I wish, and she was like, you should go back to the scene. I was like, I'm going to go back this summer. And I mean it too. I'm probably go back this summer. I'm like thinking about like a couple weeks and stuff. And, but I told her, I was like, my main problem with it is I know that I only have about like maybe an 8-hour period at most on like a Sunday. The rest of the week goes to the stream. And the recording, and that's not normal, I don't think, for somebody my age. I think most men probably actually do have freedom my age, but I don't. I'm a slave to a budding, a budding content creator career that whether it goes anywhere or doesn't, I'm still doing it. And now I don't want to go through that. And, you know, and that's, you know, it's very odd for a 40-something man to suddenly become a streamer, I think, you know? That's a weird dream to have, but I mean, it was the dream that I wanted. I felt like I could show the video games for the rest of my life and do well with it, you know? So I believed in myself and I did it. And so I believe that is attractive to women. I believe having a dream is attractive. I think it's showing them that I do it all the time is attractive. I think I'll probably do better in this scene than I have in a long, long time, actually. Before, it was like, oh, I'm a drug dealer. Or, oh, I'm homeless and I live on one of my best friend's couches. And I just sort of flow through life, and I work sometimes, and I'm addicted to drugs sometimes, and I lived as a taxi driver for 13 years and all this, and in Uber, and, you know, I dated a heroin junkie for 2.5 years, and I smoked heroin with her. I have all these conversations I have to have with prospective mates that I don't like having, you know? It's so annoying. And when I find one that actually is willing to overlook it, like my best friend, I try and keep them, because it's not easy. It's not like I have no game. I just tell women my story. That's all I have to do. That's all I have to do. You know? I don't, like, I might offer to buy them a drink or something, but, like, I don't have to hit on a woman. Like, I just tell them my story and it's enough, you know? Like, you know, it's enough. And if they're attracted to me, then it works, and if they're not, it doesn't, and that's fine. And often they're not, because usually I'm bigger than them, you know, which is fine. But sometimes I'm a girl's type. Like, it's weird. I do believe that I'm actually a type, and I think I was actually my best friend's type. It's kind of weird, because I don't believe she ever would have got with me ever if I wasn't. It's weird, because I am some girls' types. I've seen, like, the girl at the grocery store, I'm her type. And she's been hitting on me every time I show up. And it's weird. It's like, I know I'm some people's type. I know I am. You know. I swear, I've been told before. I'm like, I don't know. Because it's weird. They're like I'm all the time, I'm like, no, I'm actually genuinely fugly. You know? And they're like, no, and I get people arguing with me, and I'm like, no, but I am, though. Sometimes I'll walk down the street, and, like, people, like, look the other way. It is because I make them uncomfortable. I'm huge, and I don't, like, you know, I don't look like a normal person, really. I look like Arnold, like, no, I don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I look big like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I look fucking big. Jolly Green Giant big, you know? I tower over everybody else in the fucking room, and it drives me crazy. I'm 6'4". I don't like feeling like a fucking basketball star, but I look like a fucking basketball star. I'm fucking huge. It's annoying. I struggled with it all my life. People thought that I was a bully. People thought that I was terrifying or loud or abrasive and stuff, and I can't stand that, because it's not really my, you know, it's not really my personality. With cluster shutdown, yeah? Okay.
Personality, there's also a divergence, though, because Twitch has kind of had, over the past years, like, kind of a very safe PC button-up approach. And then all of a sudden you have Aiden Ross come on the scene, you have Freak, you have Jinxie screaming like a man hard into the camera and kicking it over, and it's, like, super scuffed, right? Twitch, some of the biggest streamers, you see, like, Ludwig set up, you see Pokey set up, you see Hassan set up, like, it looks like a very nice, almost like professional set, right? They've got all these, like, nice little trinkets in the background, and the bisexual lighting, and they've got their plushies and their U2s and their play button, and, you know, it's, like, perfectly framed, and they've got the clearest skin, and then you just have these, like, freaks like Jinxie, who, like, he's not necessarily ugly, but he doesn't try to make himself look attractive. He just screams like an idiot and makes the worst faces possible, and, like, twitches the out all day.
Your argument is good. Your argument is good. However, I counter with XQC has always been the biggest. He's been the biggest Twitch streamer for a very long time. Bro lives in a fucking sewer.
That's true.
Okay? And Asmongold lives inside.
Well, wouldn't you say those people kind of exist in like a different viewer base than someone like Ludwig or Pokey or those guys?
But again, we're talking big Twitch streamers of an old era. You have a blend, just like you have a blend everywhere.
You guys actually watch these people?
I have never put.
I do.
Like, I've never watched every time. Yeah. I've never watched any of these people.
So I I like didn't really watch streamers apart from I would watch Destiny sometimes back in the day, right? I never. Really
Yeah, I didn't watch streamers at all.
A year and a half ago, I got into streaming myself, and then I was like, well, what the fuck are other streamers doing?
Yep.
And so I started just watching their shit to see like what works for them and what they're doing, and then I kind of like implemented that in my own swag. And I love streaming. I think it's a lot of fun.
Me too. I love streaming too.
I've been doing
Yep.
it hard, like 8 to
I
10
love
hours
streaming.
a day.
I do it every day, almost. You know.
It's like, you know, it puts a little bit of makes me hate that whole Hassan statement about like streaming is so socially draining. It makes me hate it a little less because when I can finish streaming, like I'm ready to kill myself. It's like, oh my god, my brain is.
My brain is mush, and I am fried. And I'll go and try and talk to my family, and it doesn't work.
You know,
Like often we'll have misunderstandings and shit like that. When I am done with a 14-hour session of streaming, my brain is literally mush. Like I actually hate to say this, but like everybody gave Hassan flack for saying that the streamer is like this emotionally taxing job and all this shit. And at the time I hated him for saying it, but like I understand now. Like for instance, the other day I tried to go walking for like 4 miles after I did a 14-hour shift. I just like it was like the middle of the day. I was like, okay, well, this is ending, and I can just go walking now, and I'm gonna go work on my body and stuff. And I made it like, you know, I made it like I don't know. I went up the country road, I think like 5 times up and down, which is probably maybe a mile if I'm lucky, right? I made it about a mile. Maybe like 3/4 of a mile or something before I was like, nope, 14 hours of streaming has exhausted not only my I had never seen this. I've never confronted my own mortality before. It's never happened. I've never not been challenged by anything. Like I've honestly always felt like the youngest person in the fucking room. I don't care if I'm 20 years older than you. I still feel younger and more vital than everybody there. I've always have. I don't, you know, XQC does not talk too fast to me. I'm young and vital like that too. I don't care. And like, you know, and I don't care. I don't care. All my life they have told me that I talk too fast. And I you know, and I don't know. Like I don't, you know, I do talk too fast. I do. And I just I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's like after the long walk, like I was saying, it wasn't a long walk, it was a short walk. It was like maybe a mile. And I was like, nope, 14 hours of using my brain as much as possible to try and give at least a mid-level gameplay display all day long with almost no interruptions or anything like that. I'm constantly grinding, on the grind, killing more mobs and doing more stuff and patching things and going through and launching this game or that game, going through, going over, tabbing out, playing a different game and all this. Sometimes like you can't even see sometimes what it is I'm doing. And like and I'm just like, you know, oh, I'm done with copper ore because I'm out of fire. No, I'm out of copper. So before the day ends, I want to buy copper. See, like it's always constantly moving, but you couldn't say per se that any of this makes me a good gamer. It's just what I'm trying to show is that I'm constantly in motion all of my life, like on some grind trying to finish all of this, and there is no finish to all of it. There's no finish to 76, not really. There's always something more to learn. There's always some place you haven't been. It's like kind of weird. It's like weird. I think the designers probably know, but I don't think anybody else does. And so now, like, I'm just like in it every day, and I didn't feel like I needed to compete with anybody. I didn't feel that I needed to be better than Ninja. You know, my skill ceiling, like if I wanted to be better than anybody in the world, it would be Ninja, right? Because I did play quite a lot of Fortnite, and I want to be as good as Ninja, but I don't want to play aggressive like Ninja. I want to play peaceful and controlled, like a 45-year-old man should, you know. And I don't want to play like press W, like all gas no brakes, fucking idiot, you know. I don't want to push all day. I don't really have that much against people playing like that. I just don't like it like victimizing me all day while I try to play cold and slow and methodical and stuff. And I don't like people just pushing in and hitting me with a shotgun immediately. It's like it's not very fun for the kind of the gameplay that I'm looking for, which is like, you know, just like tuning out. The gameplay that I'm looking for is not trying to look like like they mentioned that you can still be a really good gamer and have a bad personality and still make it. I was like, well, good, because I think that's me. You know, I was like, fuck, I think, you know, I don't know if I have a bad personality, but I would say that, like, you know, that I have an abrasive personality that's probably a lot less easy for most people to handle, you know. I would say, than somebody like a Pokimane or even an Asmongold. I think Asmongold is a great deal less abrasive than me, and probably way less angry than me, and way less just, way less confrontational than me. And I'm liable to take on the Republican Party and scream at anybody who fucking supports them. And quote the octopus murders as to why, not some fucking president like every other like Republican hating person does. I don't give a shit about their fucking presidents. I'm talking about the things they've actually done, and all that. So whatever. And I just keep talking, thinking that, that it'll go somewhere, and I don't care if it does or doesn't. I just feel that is something that I need to do, and I have a great deal of fun doing it. And that is, and it's fun to hear other people talk about their passion and their job. I like hearing Tom talk about his job because I feel the same way. I'm having so much fun with this. I had never watched a streamer for I didn't watch YouTube other than like for when I was stumped on something in a video game. I did not watch YouTube till I was like, I don't know, 37 or something like that. And so coming into the scene was so fun. I had no fucking idea who these people were. I had no idea what the memes were. I still haven't seen, they keep mentioning Freddy Got Fingered. I don't think I've ever seen that. I'm serious. I don't believe I've ever seen Freddy Got Fingered. And they were talking about it yesterday, and I was like, I don't know what that is. What is Freddy Got Fingered? Oh, no. Yeah, Freddy Got Fingered, right? Yeah, and I remember Freddy Got Fingered. Yeah, this was a great movie. It was hilarious. Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Yeah, this was such a weird, fucked up movie. Tom Green was such a really good comedian, but he was also totally fucking crazy. Yeah, this was a really funny movie. Freddy Got Fingered, or whatever.
These people who stream for 8 to 10 hours, like, especially if they do it every day, their brains are fried. We have to understand.
Yeah, so I remember now what I was talking about. So the other day I tried to walk. It was just like last weekend. I tried to walk after I had done streaming for 14 fucking hours. And before that didn't really, I realized now that before I was like worried about other people and other problems and how they thought of me and all this stuff. But now I'm just trying to provide the content the best way that I know how to do it. And this is how I'm doing it. I'm just live in real time, fucking free flowing it right now as we speak. I don't care. I'll just keep fucking talking. I don't care. I'm here to try and entertain people. So that's, and then I think I've always had this capacity. I think since I was like a baby, you could spin me up and I would start fucking talking all day long. I don't care. All night. I don't care. I'll just keep talking. I don't care. So now I look at it like for me, I think it was an amalgamation of a bunch of things. I had this burning desire to be a recording artist, and I still do. And I'm still recording music. Like I'm late on my next song, but I know what it is, and I've been thinking about it every day. I was thinking about that today. I thought about recording my song today. I'm getting close to it. I think I'm going to record my song like in the next couple of days, like number 4 song on the album. And it's called Drinking and Dancing and Party. I'm sorry, Drinking and I'm sorry. What is it? It's Drinking and Dancing in the Palace Once Again, I think is the name of the song. And I'm gonna sing it, and I'm gonna try and do like another really good song. And I am scared of this one because it's a happy one, and I set out to do Blues Trap sad, but this song's happy. So, but I'm gonna show that Blues Trap can do happy, and that's hard for me, I want to invent a music fucking genre called blues trap, and I want to show that the saddest blues trap musician can also sing super happy stuff about revolutions ending and people dancing in the palace once again and stuff like that. Weird stuff, I don't care. Like Gentle Giant stuff,
They do that's bad, just forgive them, because streaming has turned their brain into
Yeah, so streaming rots my brain. After 14 hours of it, I can't focus on a movie. I can't focus on my family. I can't focus on like other YouTubers. I can't focus on anything at all. I'm in this numb, dull haze that I've never been in my whole life, except for after 14 to 18 hours of streaming, something like that. And you're and especially on the harder days when you're just in the mood, you're in the zone, and you're just just providing content all day long, every minute of every fucking of the session or whatever. You're just talking all fucking day long, and you're really into it. You're just burning the candle at both ends, just putting your energy out there like a generator straight to the fucking televator wires or whatever. And you're just like, you know, you're there and you're in the zone, and you're there all day for 14 hours. Maybe you're drinking or something like that. It doesn't matter. But like at the end of the day, I can't function. I can't barely take my pills to go to bed. I can't think to eat. I can't focus on anything. I like, the only thing my brain wants to do is not focus on anything, because like being a streamer is like this hyper focused tension all fucking day. All four of these guys are extremely fucking good at it, and I try to use them as a model to improve me and my career and stuff. And one of the things I like about Tom, of the four, I think I like Tom the best, but it's weird because Tom is probably the guy I'm most likely to punch in the fucking face, though. You know, but honestly, that's often the case with my life. The people that I dislike the most ended up being kind of like, you know, like my best friends. Sometimes it's kind of funny. It's weird. It happens sometimes, but it's like weird. And I like all of these guys. I like Caleb after him the best, and then I like him the best. But I don't like Nuxtaku. He reminds me of the nerds that I used to dislike in high school really badly, and kind of maybe because he's younger. I don't know, but anyways. I see people full of life just spewing their life right out there on like the megaphone, essentially, right there on the stream. And I try to do the same thing. I don't care. Like right now, what am I talking about? I'm not talking about anything but me talking about talking. And so, and then the end of the shift. And I didn't like what Hassan Piker said about the job being draining and leaving you completely mentally fucked at the end of the day and not able to engage or be a person or even really do anything like that. And it's weird. And I've had this I don't know what the word is. It's like I've had this, like, I don't know, eye-opening experience of late. Like, for instance, yesterday I ended the stream, and my family asked me to go donate books to the local library, which I did. And this added on like another 2-hour bit to already my 14-hour day. But I mean, I knew I wanted to do it, and I wanted to help them, and I wanted to do something, you know, real with my day, as opposed to just sitting on the camera for 14 hours. And so I went out and I donated books to the local library. It sounds like a lie, but it's true. I did. And like, I noticed something when I sat down with my family, who's under the weather right now because of some surgery. I saw somebody who's elderly and drained and tired at 10 in the morning. And I had just finished my shift at 10 in the morning, and I compared us. And I sat there, and they were lying in the dark, just sort of like trying to stay awake and just sort of trying to get through the day. And I just sat there in the chair, kind of like gabbing back and forth with them very quietly and peacefully and stuff. And I realized that I had the exact same bandwidth as my elderly, distressed family member, who was lying in bed kind of exhausted and hadn't slept well, and was old and feeling taxed and kind of out of it and in pain. And I realized that we both had the exact same bandwidth. And I was like, okay, but they came by it honestly. They're older, they're elderly, they're going through some health stuff and all this, and they're tired. I just sat in front of my lazy 40 some odd middle-aged man ass I sat on my middle-aged man ass all fucking day for 14 hours on a stream. I don't think I sang yesterday, but I did the day before that, and I was a little bit hoarse yesterday. And I think, and it was just kind of like the most productive thing you could say I probably did besides walking was like singing for like the last 3 days or something like that, beyond, of course, the 30 hours of streaming that I did. And I would say that, like, it's weird that a job drains you so badly like that. And I didn't want to hear it or believe it, and I didn't agree with it when I heard it. But then when I actually examine my actual energy levels and what I have at the end of this shift, like already it's getting harder now to get all the way through the 14 hours, because you really, it's just doing the same thing all day, every day, for day after day after day after day after day. And then I know how it's going to end, and I know I know what's going to happen on the stream generally, and I know what's going to, I know what the pacing is going to be all day unless something surprises me or some such. I know what's going to be new that day and what's old, and where I can get my attention and where I can't. And I know that, and it ends up being one and the same, which is something that doesn't bother me at all, because I like being consistent. I like providing the same sort of content every single fucking day. But I had no idea what it does to your mental muscle. Like, your brain is like a muscle, and if you squeeze it like a fucking rag for 14 fucking hours a day for years on end, and that's what I've done. I have taken like 12 days off in 3 years or something. I mean, I hate to say it that way because it sounds crazy, but I really have taken like only like 12 days off or something like that in 3 years. Or I think it has been like 2.5, 2 3/4, something like that. And I'm fairly sure that's the accurate statement. I believe I had I'm on my 3rd day with my vacation this year. I got 2 days from that and another couple. I think all in all, I've had like 5 days off this year, and it was 4 days last year and 3 days the year before that. And like, you add up, and like, I think most people get that amount in a month. I haven't got that amount in 3 years. So, and I do this voluntarily. I don't say this to whine or talk to the audience, or like talk down to them like, oh, woe is me. I think Hassan Piker was doing that, but I'm not doing that. I'm just noting that my brain is a muscle, and if I wring it like a fucking rag at a kitchen at the sink for 14 fucking hours, trying to rack every single thing that I could possibly talk about, and going through all the content that I'm interested in, playing the games that I want to play, and all this, and at the end of the day, you want to talk to your family member, or you want to watch YouTube or something like that and relax and focus on something, but you realize that you can't. You have used up your mental capacity for that day. You are just, it's almost like God's law about overthinking or something like that. You cannot use your brain as this, fucking launch pad for 14 hours a fucking day, every day for years, without terrible costs on your psyche, probably your skin, probably your hearing, probably your eyes. It has like these costs, I'm not complaining about them. I actually like them. I think it's a good thing to pay for what the trade is. I don't mind. It's okay. It's not a bad fee, But I do think that, we downplay how much mental acuity stuff, like, for instance, consider, say, like a 2nd grade teacher, how exhausted they might be by the end of the fucking day, by 5 p.m. I could see I remember my 2nd grade teacher. She was a wonderful lady named Mrs. Schmidt. And I knew that, because I believe she was sick with something, and I don't remember what. I'm too old to remember now, but I think she was sick with something that she didn't really tell us about that much. And I remember my 2nd grade teacher would get very tired by the end of the day, very just exhausted. All the kid energy all day long would physically fucking drain her. I remember that her reaction to it. I remember her face and and the blotches on her pale face and stuff from a long taxing day. And I think of a teacher would be almost the other profession, like content creator, that can maybe understand what it's like, right? I think a teacher could maybe relate. You're on for at least 8, if not 14 hours a day or something like that, and you can't fuck up. You're in the front of the class. You can't say something or treat one person better than the other or anything like this, or you play favorites and you lose your audience, and then they conspire against you. And that's how teachers are too. It's exactly like streamers. So like when you look at how emotionally draining a streamer's job might actually be at the end of the fucking day, I urge you to think like school teacher, because it is often like that. It's like you go for 14 days at the top of your lungs, at the top of your fucking capacity, trying to think as fast as you can to provide endless content like this and just keep the air full of energy and talking. And if you're not doing it, let somebody else do it, right?
Like John Zerka, just like whatever he did.
And thank God for these people to fill in because you know, say what you want. I am clocking 14 hours. It's impossible for me to be on all the fucking time trying to give out this AAA Pokemon Pokemon level of quality or whatever that made her famous or whatever. That takes an editor. It takes people willing to do your thumbnails. It takes a makeup artist and a fucking PR publicist and a manager to you know. And I think it's kind of funny. I think some of the video game people that came into my channel expecting me to be better than I was kind of forget what it takes to make somebody like Pokemon. I think they forget. I think they think that Hollywood movies are just the director or something like that. But no, when you really look at the credits, there's like 300 fucking people like all making that possible, and it takes a while to even see their names roll. You know. And the same is true of truly fucking good content. You don't like maybe you're, I don't know, Mr. Beast, but even Mr. Beast had a team almost his entire fucking career. I'm up here alone like all the time. So am I comparing myself to Mr. Beast? No, I'm saying that like, you know, I don't have the team, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. I mean, I have the time, but I don't have the inclination to go making content like that. I like the content that I'm providing right the fuck now. You know, right the fuck now as I speak to you. I think this content is great. I think it's hot air. It keeps going all day. It's got like a you know, a Howard Stern fucking quality to it. It can be self-delivered. It's almost AI, and it's like endless droning fucking capacity all day long. You know. And so, but I had no idea what I was actually doing. I was trading my mental fucking acuity for that day. I'm just burning it like a fucking like energy or something. Like I'm burning it like remember those classes they used to give you in school in biology about what it takes to make a human go, and it's like if you eat an apple you get a bit of energy from the carbohydrates and you get blood sugar and you're able to work and do things. And it's like that's kind of like what I feel streaming actually is kind of like now for me. Like at the end of the fucking day, I put on something random and I'm not even sure what it is all the time. The next day, I'm like, oh my God, I watched like 3 movies over a 9-hour period while I slept all day from 4 a.m. till 6 p.m. That's what's about to happen now or whatever. It's like around like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. or whatever. Yeah, it's like 8 hours into the shift right now. So in 6 more hours, I'll stop. And that's 10 a.m., you know? So at 10 a.m., I'm going to crash into my fucking room. And you might think that I go and deal with my taxes, or I mean, I do sometimes. But like, you know, or I go to the doctor's appointment, and I do sometimes. But no, what it's more like is you crash out on the fucking bed and you tune out and you let the droning of something speak at you. You're even incapable of focus beyond that. And if it's important, you can probably focus. If you need it for the next day or something like that, you can probably focus. But I mean, like at the end of it, your mental bandwidth is reduced to like 0. And that's what Hassan was talking about when he complained about his job. And I thought he was such a pussy when I heard him say that, you know? But now I understand it. I understood it after I tried to go for a walk the other day.
As far as I'm concerned.
After doing this for 14 hours, that it's not only like a mental thing, it taxes you spiritually. It sometimes I cry. Almost every night I cry on stream. Almost every night. Like, you know, it taxes you fucking physically. So sometimes I'm screaming. I'm like yelling and I'm happy, you know? And I don't know what the perfect vision of that is. I just try and fucking supply it. That's it. And I could see doing it for the rest of my life because I realized that this is what I've always done for my friends all of my life. And more often than not, I got to shut up, you know, because I just talk too much all the time. I will just entertain you. I'm a fucking generator, fucking spin top. Just spin me up and pull the fucking string, and I'll fucking spin on a board for you while you tilt me up and down, you know, all over the board. You know, I don't care. I'm a dreidel. I'll just keep on spinning. I don't care. And it is weird because and that's what I think is required. I think streaming is very fun, but I think normal people can't do it. I think if you're the type to keep a room just listening to you all day, You're probably like fit for this job. If you're not used to that, then don't do it.
Mental disability.
Like, I will take command of a room and I will begin to lecture them about the coral reefs dying. Not that they need to care or that I want them to care, just to fill the fucking air with hot air. Just to keep talking and talk about this and that, and keep doom scrolling and keep just talking about the death of the coral reefs, or the fact that we have an Alexei Navalny over here in America. We did kill him. His name is Danny Casolero and shit like that, right? I just bring up whatever pops into my fucking head. I don't care, right? Because it's just all just an argument. It's just an argument in loose association anyways, So oftentimes I think we're held as streamers, we're held to a higher level of conduct and standard than we're actually able to supply after 14 hours of exhausting content. I think streamers say stupid things. I think that's the whole challenge, is not to say something stupid.
By hour 7 of my stream, if I'm trying to get to 10 hours?
Yeah, if I'm trying to get to 14 hours, I can barely function. I don't know what game I'm even playing. I'm alt-tabbed at that point, and I'm not even looking at the game anymore. And my focus is gone. I'm 8 hours and 10 minutes into the stream, exactly like what he just said.
I'm basically mute. I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm basically mute. See, and you think I probably don't talk enough, right? But no, almost all of us are like that. You cannot turn on the megaphone for 14 hours fucking straight. It drains you. It drains the shit out of you. It's like you emotionally vampire yourself. You suck your own blood. It's insane. You come out of it and you feel drained, like Anne Rice's interview with the vampire, just all sucked on your neck. All the vampires in Interview with the Vampire just all sucked your neck all at once. That is what the end of a streamer shift feels like. It's impossible to describe. It's impossible to do it. I don't think the only way I think you could ever really I don't know, emulate it in the wild would be to put somebody up in the front of the class or up in front of a theater and just have them entertain people for 14 fucking hours straight. It's impossible almost. It's a job that should pay $20 million a year or something like that. I think it is kind of a job that should pay that, because you're strapped for fucking content all day long and you're just trying to spew it all out and however you can. You're just grasping at straws all day long. There's not enough topics in the world that you actually know about to even keep going, possibly for 50 years like I plan to. But I'm gonna spin the top for 50 years. I'm gonna do it. I wasn't kidding when I said that stuff 2 years ago. I'm going to keep doing this for 50 years. I'm going to spin the top for 50 years. And I don't care if anybody likes it or not. I'm just going to do it. It is my calling. It's funny.
Asking me if I'm okay.
Yeah, people are like, "Are you okay, dude?" You're like, I had a friend, Man Who Stands, and his last message is mortifying to me. He was like, "You seem to be up for 14 hours talking to nobody in particular, and you scream at the top of your lungs about things that you can't control, and you seem really upset, but you don't ever do anything, and you don't about it, and you don't, and you're kind of hyperbolic, and you seem like you've got a lot of mental issues and you need help with it and all this, and I'm just worried about you, dude. Are you all right?" And I'm like, welcome to being that's streamer 101. All of that is streamer 101. It's the loss of your sanity and the complete public the complete public display of it. That's what being a streamer is. I missed it. I took a break this month and I stopped streaming for 5 or 6 days in a row or something like that. I was just recording and I did recording here and there, but I missed it bad enough to come back to it, because challenging my brain to come up with a inane chatter that doesn't have anything to do with anything, like Seinfeld all goddamn day for 14 hours, is the greatest challenge I have ever faced in my life. I remember learning to swim. I remember losing my virginity. I remember all the little things that a man or a woman remembers about their life and all this, all the challenges that you overcome. None of them were ever quite like trying to spin complete bullshit for 14 fucking hours straight with no guide, no no script, no, no support, no backup, no sidekick, no fucking this way boss or anything. No sidekicks or anything at all. No safety net, no support. Like I'm sorry. No, I've gotten a lot of support, but I'm talking about like no support from anybody else in the moment, right? Nobody else is going to come up with this sentence that I'm speaking right now. I have to do that. I have to do it. I'm not going to. Nobody's going to step in on the mic for me right now, like that podcast with Frederick Knudsen and the other guy in the Warrens. Like I don't have some other sidekick to back me or anything like that. I have to do the whole 14 hours by myself. Often it sucks. I'm sure it does. Often I'm deadbeat and I'm exhausted and my brain is fried and my wherewithal is gone and I'm too much butter or scraped too much over bread like the Hobbit says. And and I'm just and I'm old and I'm elderly and I'm mid-40s and I'm fucking dumb and I'm a boomer and I have all these problems and all the old isms and all these stupid fucking like problems and stuff. And I just try not to get myself canceled. I try to maintain the hot air for as long as fucking possible with no point whatsoever. Just keeping myself going all night long. See, I'm doing it right now as we speak. And I'm going to stop talking about how I'm talking right now. Because I realize that it has got cyclical and stupid. But I could keep talking about cyclical and stupid and how it's cyclical and stupid if you would like. We could just keep spinning in circles about cyclical and stupid if you would like. At 4 in the fucking morning like some kind of crazy crackhead. Do you guys want to talk about cyclical stupid? We could. I'm stuck on cyclical stupid, and I'll just keep spouting cyclical stupid and cyclical stupid, cyclical stupid, cyclical stupid, cyclical stupid over and over again for if it fills another 30 seconds of the endless goddamn diatribe to myself. And no, I'm not okay. I'm insane. I lost my brain to a streamer 2.5 years ago, and now I'm publicly decrying my own shame while I cry on stream every day to a bunch of men who hate me. And I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. I'm enjoying it. It is what it is.
Is he okay?
I'm not afraid of it. I didn't run from it. I am not going anywhere. It's not going to end. It's, I'm addicted to it now. It's the greatest drug known to man. Trying to keep myself spinning for 14 fucking hours about nothing at all. It's an entire life made of Seinfeldisms. It's terrible. It's totally vacuous and stupid. It's a young boy talking about himself over and 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 cyclical and stupid. And I'm stuck on cyclical stupid, and I could talk about cyclical stupid all day long. We're all stuck on cyclical stupid. We all cause the same problems over and over again, and it's all returning back to the Christopher McCandless River in the end.
Is he fine?
No, I know what you mean, bro. Like,
They just ask
It's
each
like
other.
when
genuine
I was
concern.
more regularly streaming, like when I was more regularly doing it by hour 7, I was like,
It's called to get the gab. Most people don't actually have it. I can sit there and sell you, hey, buy Pirelli's Miracle Elixir. It'll do the trickster. It's true, sir, true. What is this? Smells like piss. It smells like piss. Piss with ink. Right? And I'll just spin off some crazy fucking thing that comes to my mind right then. Right? You think I'm talking about 4 streamers and like burning out after a 14-hour shift. But no, we're going to sing Sacha Baron Cohen in Demon Fleet Bar. Demon Fleet, Demon, Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Right? You thought we were talking about being a streamer. But no, I'm going to sing a song from... we're gonna sing Pirelli's Miracle Elixir now. Right? Because that kid had to get the gab, right? That kid had to get the gab. He was a genius. He was such a good little actor. He was so good. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Do you wake every morning in shame and despair to discover your pillow is covered with hair? What ought not to be there? Well, ladies and gentlemen, from now on, you can waken at ease. You need never again have a worry or care. I will show you a miracle, marvelous, rare. Gentlemen, you are about to see something that rose from the dead on the top of my head. Every day, right off the top of my head. Scarcely a month ago, gentlemen, I was struck with a horrible dermatologic disease. Though the finest physicians in London were called, I awakened one morning amazed and appalled to discover with dread that my head was as bald as a novice knees. I was dying of shame till a gentleman came, an illustrious barber, Pirelli by name. He gave me a liquid as precious as gold. I rubbed it in daily like what I was told, and behold, only 30 days old. 'Twas Pirelli's Miracle Elixir. It'll do the trick, sir. True, sir, true. Try Pirelli's Miracle Elixir. It'll do the trick, sir. True, sir, true. Anyways, and so you think we were talking about streaming, but no, Pirelli's, bitch, Pirelli's. You know? No. It's my studio, my fucking stream, my channel, my brain. I will follow it. I will surf my own brain like a fucking surfboard into your mouth and fuck your brain until it dies.
On stream, dude. Like, I'd be gone.
Dude, I have never gotten to hour 7 on a stream. I just...
What are you talking about? I've done it for 14 hours a day for fucking 2.5 years. I work so much more than these people. These people are lazy. What do you mean you don't have 10,000 videos this year? I have 10,000 videos this year. Do you have 10,000 videos this year? They're all mid to low. I'll be the first one to tell you, but there's 10,000 videos, and all of them have conversations like this.
My streaming is I stream to get stream highlights for YouTube.
See, I don't care about that. I don't even know what stream highlights are. I just want to be in front of a camera and you suck on my balls.
I don't stream to stream.
That's all. That's all I want. I don't even know what stream highlights are. I don't care. I'm wired to not care about that simple fucking, what's the word? We used to use a word for this. We used to call it manually, but what it really means is, semantic blockage. Like I'm not too interested in semantic blockage like stream highlights. I don't care about that. I'm sorry.
But so like I feel like after about 4 hours.
Yeah, after about 4
content
hours.
just won't be good.
Yeah, it's not. Oh man, I'm dead after about 2.5 or something. Yeah, after about 2.5. Oh yeah, I'm just totally done. It's very rare when I'm like I'm in form like this 8.5 hours into the shift. You know, I'll do it and I'll follow it and I'll surf the fucking wave like Silver Surfer right into your fucking mouth until I fuck your brain to death.
So what I do is I try to like have a mix because if I'm doing like an 8-hour stream, which is like the average stream length I do right now, I'll try to have like I'll have like a Google Doc of like stuff I want to go over / talk about, and that stuff will be clipped and put on Tom Dark or my live channel or whatever, and that will be like the money making stuff, right? Outside of donos. But I've noticed since I've started doing stuff that is like stream content, donos have gone way up. Like it used to be that I would average like maybe $200 on a long stream. Now it's like easily over 1,000 every time I do a long stream because people want to see the live stuff. They want to see the live interaction. And
so I know what you mean. Like when I'm just bullshitting with my audience, let's say on a stream, like that's when you get donations. But when you're recording something for YouTube, they know that they're not going to derail your whole shit with a dono. And you're not going to just like start a random conversation with them based on their donation.
That's the thing. You would think that.
But they do.
Encouraged it because what I do is if I'm watching something and somebody actually
I don't care.
Dono,
yeah.
Like while I'm watching it,
yeah,
I
watch them do it. I like it. I'll call out whatever they want me to say. I don't care. I will ban them because I don't want them jading the children in my community. But I don't care, and I will repeat what they said. I don't care as long as it's not like isms or anything. So
talk about what they said. Like I will do that. And like maybe that makes the YouTube clip a little worse, but I think it makes the stream better, which I think ultimately growing the stream is my main concern rather than clipping it for YouTube because I already have.
I think that is a backwards appraisal of your priorities. I believe your YouTube I believe YouTube should be your priority, Tom Dark, and I believe that your streamers should be a afterthought. And I think your streams are fun to watch, probably more fun than most people's to watch. But I also don't think that's where the career is. I think the career is in YouTube, and I am living that reality right now. Like, I'm absolutely living that reality right now. I have put so much work into goddamn YouTube. Like, I mean, if I come to my fucking channel, I love bragging about this, Fuck yeah, we're gonna brag about this. Yeah. Oh, hey, are we done upload? Oh, no, you didn't finish uploading. Oh, no. 3. Okay, so upload. You cancel. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop this process. I forgot that I have 2 more videos to upload. God damn it. Well, there goes 1. Fuck it. I need 3, 4, and 5. 3 through 5. Yep. This will go up over the next 6 hours, and right as I end the shift, I'll post yesterday's. And I'm now about 24 hours behind, but that's okay. That actually keeps me safe. I don't mind it. Yeah. So anyways, I come back and I start scrolling down and I'm like, oh yeah, look, it's my life's work. It's actually happening. It makes me so happy. 856. Oh, why are you... Now, why am I being shot right now? There hasn't been a gunshot in like 10 minutes. Where did you... Where... What? Where are you? Who just shot me? There's no one here. Who just shot me? You are so annoying. Bug. Yay. Oh, it's a legendary, no wonder. I was like, why am I being hurt so bad? Wait.
How much stuff I put on YouTube. So I'm like, I'm really locked in on streaming. I think it's like the greatest thing ever. I
Me
think
too.
it's so sick.
I do too. Yeah.
I will probably stream after this at some point. I can't stop. I just can't stop.
Yep,
It's
me neither.
goated. It's
You're
goated.
addicted to it?
Genuinely,
Yep.
yes. I am actually,
I love
unironically, I
streaming.
am addicted.
Yep.
But
addicted to
I'm
streaming,
quickly
yeah.
realizing that I think that genuinely the only way to become one of these super crack streamers, because like I get tired. I'm a normal human, right? I get
Yep, I get
gassed out.
tired. I get.
I think the
fucking
only way,
Drugs?
yes,
drugs.
drugs. I think that's the only way you could do it. I think you've got to be doing coke. You got to be taking Adderall or something, because it's so much, dude.
Oh,
It's so much to have your brain just going and going and
All
talking
day,
and talking,
all
actually
day
being
long.
entertaining. Like,
Yep.
in the beginning, I remember the first like 3-hour stream I did. I was like, man, I'm wiped. I'm so wiped. Like that was, and now that I'm like doing 8 hours, it's like I'm wiped. But it's like slowly building myself up there. If I was on drugs, I would be amazing. I need to be on drugs.
Yeah, that's the
No.
lesson.
Yeah, I think I need to be on drugs.
So you think doing copious amounts of drugs is what's allowed you to succeed on or at least succeed on the streaming?
Well, not yet,
front?
but it's going to. It's going to is what I'm saying. Doing drugs going forward will.
You're not
Don't you-
ready
don't
for
you do
Tom
like- don't you do
Dark
like-
Arc 2.
Don't you do like a amount of Monster or something? before
I mean, that's kind of a drug. Is that the same? Is that the same as like
Yeah, I mean,
coke?
yeah.
It's a drug.
Hey.
So yesterday, Destiny. I met up with Destiny, and I asked him if he wanted to get any GOT. Are you familiar with the
Yachts?
with GOT? Not
No,
yacht.
no, what
Not
is
don't
that?
say that. It's not that. Okay, it's a
Okay.
drug. It's a drug that's illegal in the U.S., but it's legal in Israel. So he asked, like, what is that? I said, it's a psychedelic. He's like, no, I can't again. And I'm like, what do you mean again? Like, what? Yeah, so, anyway, apparently
give
it's
him
a big
GOT?
thing in streaming culture.
How has
Yeah.
Destiny's experience been in Israel so far?
KHAT, if you want to look it up. Yeah, he's having a good time. So I asked him, like, how do you differentiate, like, your stream life from your social life? He's like, oh, it's easy. I don't have a social life. I'm like, oh, very cool.
He just does. Yeah, that's. I mean,
That was his
it's one of the things you kind of have to give up as like somebody being a content
Yeah.
creator. It's like anybody's like, oh, you go on vacation? I'm like, nah, because I'm
No.
scared of going on vacation. All the fun stuff happens when I'm outside the office, dude. That's when crazy
I don't
shit
know.
starts
I
kicking off.
value my social life, like, and I know all of you do, all except for Tom. Tom doesn't have a social life.
How'd you
but,
know?
I don't either, bro.
How'd you know, bro?
I don't have a social life either, dude.
Destiny told
That's
me.
funny.
I don't have a social life, dude.
That's
I
why
just
he
go on.
respects you so much.
I just go on Discord, bro. That's my social life right there, dude. That and soyjack.party. Dude.
Caleb, do you have a social life? Are you a social guy?
Yeah, dude, I'm a fucking freak hermit. I don't do shit.
The only thing I do right now outside of work is I go to the gym and then I watch Suits on TV. These are like the only two things I do in my life.
Oh, Suits.
Suits.
Oh my god.
It's good.
Listen, you should get a tonal, bro. Then you don't even have to go to the gym.
Good.
Get a what?
Then you don't even have to go to the gym. A tonal.
What the
It's
fuck
like
is a tonal?
digital. It's a giant iPad that goes in your wall, and it goes up to 200 pounds. You just work out on your wall. It's so easy and doesn't take up any space.
Are you
Wait,
actually
what?
using whatever this freak thing is?
Dude, yeah, it's awesome. It's sick.
It's an
It's sick.
iPad?
It's a giant iPad. It's like a giant iPad thing.
Do you
I'll
lift
zoom
the
in on it.
iPad into the air? Like, what do you do?
It's focusing.
Hey, there it is.
It's a see, it's got like arms, and then the arms come
Yeah.
out, and it goes up to 100 pounds in each arm, and it's digital weight, so there's no inertia or like there's no physics, so it's f***ing hard as shit. Cause you can't like throw the weight at all.
you do,
it's
like,
always the same
Bench
weight.
on it?
Yeah, you can lay a bench down, and it like you can do anything on it. Yeah,
It looks
it's pretty
absolutely. It looks disturbing. I feel like it's
That's
gonna.
so cool.
something.
It's really weird. It's really weird. I was.
Why do you have this?
I was. Why do I have it?
Yeah, you have a lot of weird
To
things. I
save
feel like you have
space.
weird things. Am I right to think you have a
I
lot
have
of weird
weird
things?
shit.
I feel like you collect
Yeah, I've
weird
got a lot
things.
of really weird shit. I do, yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a big space saver though. That's why I've got it because it's really small and you can work out with it.
Oh, okay. I go physically
that's-
to the gym. Like I go to a gym. I like going there.
Yeah, I don't like people very much.
Oh, dude, base.
I just don't. I
Something,
don't. I don't talk to them. I just work out alone with my headphones in and get
Okay.
mogged. It's good to get mogged.
Do you stare at women?
They stare at me.
Do you go?
They stare at me.
Have you ever tried
Dude,
looking
it's-
at someone
dude,
like this?
Dude,
I've definitely done it a few times.
Yes.
the fucking shit.
But just in public though.
Generally, what
like
I
you
like
just look
to do
over.
is when I see
Well, like a Pokemon battle.
Yeah.
when I see a woman exercising, I try to get in this kind of position, like this kind of thing, and then I just kind of leer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just kind of look, and I don't speak. If she asks me what's wrong, I just don't speak. I just breathe heavily, like a. I just do
You should
that
try
kind of
gazing at them through furrowed brows.
through furrowed brows like this.
You gotta like tilt your head down so they can't see your eyes.
Yeah, this is good.
So Tom,
There
your
you go.
most recent video was about like Nick Rekieta, and I kind of wanted to like ask you about it too. So if you could like fill me in on it, because I gotta do a thing later where I talk about this. So I need the best summarization from a Rekieta expert right now.
Sorry, I'm just watching Caleb go back there to do some freak shit.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, Nick
Oh,
Rekieta,
the tonal?
he's putting the
Dude, I
arms
just
up.
looked it up. I just looked it up. That shit is like 3,400. Not bad. From a Rekieta expert right now.
Sorry, I'm just watching Caleb go back there to do some freak shit.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, Nick
Oh,
Rekieta,
the tonal?
he's putting the
Dude, I
arms
just
up.
looked it up. I just looked it up. That shit is like 3,400. Not bad to go pick up if you want a home gym.
Yeah, this looks strange. Anyway, okay, Nick Rekieta, very famous YouTube lawyer guy. He got big from like the Rittenhouse trial. He got very big from the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. And he's an actual lawyer. He passed the bar in Minnesota, so he kind of has a leg to stand on in that way. And he,
This is why you watch Suits.
okay, what is your hatred of Suits? What is the hatred of Suits?
It's a bad show. It's like after season 2, it was just shit, and then they went on for like another 6
I mean,
seasons.
it's not like amazing TV, but I enjoy watching it.
Listen, you have bad taste. I'm sorry. You know what Destiny said to me yesterday? He said, "What anime do you like better?" I'm sorry. You know what Destiny. Listen, you have bad taste. I'm sorry. You know what Destiny said to me yesterday? He said, "What anime do you like better, Vampire Slayer or Hunter x Hunter?"
I love Family Guy.
I like Family
And I
Guy
told
too.
him, "What the hell is Vampire Slayer?" And his girlfriend just like puts her head in her hands.
I don't know what Vampire Slayer is either.
It's like, oh, it's Demon Slayer. It's not Vampire Slayer.
God.
Demon Slayer.
Sure.
But that's his favorite anime.
Okay, well that's anyway. Suits owns you. Lewis Litt owns you. You just got lit the f up. You're nothing, dude. Okay, Harvey Specter owns
Dude,
you.
the only good character. That's
Yeah, he is
acceptable.
good. Anyway, okay,
I'm
so
just saying, it ain't
That's
no
my
Family Guy.
Jewish representation in media.
wait, hey,
For representation.
the deal with Nick Rekieta is basically he got really famous, and he was also like a conservative Christian guy, right? He's got a bunch of kids. I think he has 5 kids. He's got a wife. He lives in a normal house. He's like a family guy, right? And so, Family Guy. There you go. And he lives a very conservative kind of lifestyle, right? And he preaches conservative values. He wasn't the most right-wing guy, but he definitely was, aesthetically right-wing. And a lot of people liked him for that, And when you get popular doing something like that, and then people find out that you're a different way, they're going to be pissed off about it, right? Like if you're a famous leftist and then people find out you're homophobic, they're going to be mad. If you're a famous homophobe, people find out you're gay, they're going to be mad, right? And so for him, it was he's a very popular, Christian conservative, and then slowly weird stuff starts popping up. People start noticing he's showing off sex toys. He's got this sex toy called a baldo, which is it's a toy that turns your balls into a shaft, basically. This is a real thing.
Can you like demonstrate? Like,
Can I demonstrate? Like, can I take my balls out?
no,
No,
just like
no,
give
no.
us a, paint us a
Well, it's
picture
like
here.
it's let me actually look up a picture of
I
it.
just looked it up. It's
No, never mind.
it's weird, dude.
Yeah, so
Turns
it's
your balls into
got
a
like
dildo.
so you know how you got your sack and you got your balls, right? Sack and balls.
Yeah, right.
So it's essentially
Sack and balls.
a tube, and it's got like the end down here is rounded. Okay, the end down here is rounded, and it's got these 2 holes in the side. So what you do is you squeeze your balls into this shaft, and then they get pushed out of these holes, sort of. And so you got your scrotum in this part. You got your balls here, and down here is the probe.
Okay.
And so you turn your balls
Yeah, I
into
can
a probe, and then
visualize
you can
this.
with your balls,
Ooh,
essentially.
that's horrible.
Bro,
That sounds terrible. Oh
we
my
need
god.
we need to bring back shaming people for this kind of stuff, man. We need to bring
Well, they
back
did
like
shame him.
actual.
They
like,
did
kink
shame him
shaming.
for that one.
No, but I mean, like in general, though. Like, I'm sorry if you're going out to the store and buying the baldo, maybe you need to. I don't know. Maybe you need to like reassess what the f you're doing. You know what I mean? Like Jesus
I
Christ.
just don't get like why would you want to your balls and you can with your butt. Then again, I've never done it.
Literally read my mind.
I've never done it, so maybe it's better. Maybe it's with your balls.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't do it for research for your video? Like just to
Dude,
see.
we weren't supposed to talk
you're
about that.
Talking about it.
We're live.
That's on the Tom Dark channel, dude.
Yeah, that's members only.
Tom IRL.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so there's that. That was just kind of a minor thing, though. It's whatever. And then they see him. He goes to an anime convention and he gets stepped on by a bunch of these anime girls. He's like, oh, getting stepped on by them, by the cosplayers, and it's like, okay, it's cringe, but his wife's there, whatever. And then he and his wife are posting weird, like, nude and semi-nude pictures in their locals chat, which is like their own little community thing. People are like, oh, what's up with that? That's kind of odd. And then Nick ends up, he's like, okay, I'm going on vacation with my wife, and they go to this resort, and people compare pictures of this resort to pictures of this place called Hedonism, and Hedonism is a swinger like sex resort that they went to, and then they noticed that I think it was Nick was following these two large black males who worked at Hedonism, and they followed him back too. So the implication is that Nick and his wife were partaking in some sort of cuckery, advanced technology. Some sort of black bull dynamics. So that happened, and people were like, "Well, what's that? That's kind of weird." Simultaneously,
Okay, I missed this whole arc somehow. I don't know how I missed
it's
all
big.
of this.
Nick simultaneously seems to be developing like a drug problem. He was heavily drinking already before this. People noticed that, but it gets worse and worse and worse. He's slurring his speech by the end of streams. It seems like he's taking breaks from streams, so leave for like 10 minutes and come back, and then it'll be like 20 minutes he leaves and comes back, and it's getting longer and longer. There's one point where he left a stream for hours and eventually came back when it was still live, and people are really confused about that. He's losing all this weight in his face. People speculated it was cocaine at the time, and there's just a lot of like rumors and speculations going around, and Nick is being very defensive about it. He's like, I was never, anti-degeneracy. Kiwi Farms doesn't matter. He's being very kind of ass mad about it, right? So fast forward to the present. In the midst of all of this going on, the most recent development was that the cops ended up going to Nick's house, and he ended up getting arrested. Him, his wife, and a girl named April. April is the wife of Nick's friend, who was going over there to partake apparently in activities with them. Nick's
Right.
Listen, he had a baldo. Bet her husband didn't have a baldo.
well,
just
he
saying.
probably didn't, but I'm also starting to see the utility because if there's two and you got one,
Yo, damn! I didn't
you
even
just make your
consider
balls
that.
into it, and then you can just do whatever.
That's crazy.
You can pleasure them both. I don't know why you want to pleasure a woman, but anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, so the cops ended up going to Nick's house because people at his congregation were talking about how the kids were coming to school, and keep in mind he's living with kids during all these problems. His kids were coming to school hungry and wearing the same clothes. They hadn't been washed in a few days.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is in the police report or whatever. The cops get there. They find a bunch of drugs. I think they found cocaine, ketamine.
They found like felony amounts of that shit too.
They found a lot, and it was with firearms.
It's
so I think
all
it makes it even
felony.
worse because you're not supposed to be doing a controlled substance that's around a firearm, right? So yeah, Nick gets arrested. These other two get arrested. Nick has gotten out now, and he's now posting like pictures of himself.
Good shit, I've seen his Instagram.
Yeah, pictures of himself in like fields with like Bible passages about how he's like been wronged or whatever. But yeah, it seems like he really f***ed up his life, and there's a bunch of other shit that happened too. Like with there's a lot of legal proceedings that happened that he didn't handle that well in terms of his coverage of them. But yeah, I mean that's definitely like the worst of it. I'd say when the kids are involved, it's pretty f***ed up. I still feel bad for the guy regardless because clearly, addiction is a very powerful thing and clearly fell into the clutches of that. But at the same time, he didn't really make a lot of decisions to make himself, any better. And, when there's kids involved, I don't think there's any excuse really, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's like literally almost zero tolerance for that kind of stuff too. It's like, ruin yourself, but don't ruin people that have like no connection to any of that. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, once you have kids, like, your life is no longer yours, really. It's theirs, essentially. Like, your entire obligation is to them. And if you're not doing that obligation, and they're being neglected.
Such a trad thing of you to say, bro. What the dude?
Well, it's just true. Like, I feel like that's a...
Bro, you're gonna wear that shirt and spout this shit?
My bad. Children. Send them all to Planned Parenthood. Kill them all.
Jesus Christ.
Stick a fucking Mossberg up there. Anyway,
Jesus.
All right. Dial it back, Zerka. All right.
but yeah, I think it's super fucked up when kids are involved, and it's no one's fault but Nick's. And the very frustrating part about it, especially, is that he's still coping about it. He's a public figure, and he was previously this like kind of trad conservative Christian guy, and he's completely given up that image now, which it does appear to have been an image, and he didn't really care in the first place. Or literally hedonism, right? Like in the worst form. Like I don't really give a f- people doing their private lives. I don't really care. It doesn't really bother me. But part of the problem is, firstly, he publicized it, which means his kids are going to get made fun of for how freaky their parents are. And then secondly, their activities, and the drug-related stuff led to, possible neglect of their children, which is also horrible. And one of these kids is 6 years old, so they're not even really old enough to understand what's going on, which makes it so much worse. So, yeah, it's super fucked up, and I hope Nick gets better for the sake of everyone. But also, I don't know that anyone should be like forgiving him right away. Not that it's my position to forgive him. I don't know him, but in his personal life and stuff, I think he's seriously fucked up. It's a sad story.
Listen, I'll be honest. I was told that he was going to be like this conservative Christian dude, like mega values heavy fellow. I went on a show once to talk about copyright VTuber stuff, and I don't know. This stuck in my head because it just felt like the antithesis of like his content. He asked me, I remember, because he asked me, he had like a whole bunch of questions prepared, and one of the questions he had prepared was, futanari with testicles or without? And I was like I was taken aback. I did not see that question coming at all. Futanari is a hentai term. It's a chick with a dick.
Yeah.
And his question was, do you prefer futanari with balls or just the shaft without the balls?
When did you go on the show?
I was like years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah. He was always an edgy guy, so it's interesting you bring that up. But
yeah, I couldn't. It definitely stood out as like a weird moment to me because I knew I was going on this show of this,
right.
wholesome Christian fellow, and I thought that was
I guess
wild. But then
at the time people just read it as like a joke, because like obviously conservative Christian people will still make comments like that. But now looking back, maybe there is some merit to what you're saying. Maybe he was getting down and dirty with the.
No, I took it as a joke. But
you never know.
Yeah, it's
But I'm just saying, and I do remember him mentioning that he preferred futanari with testicles. And now that I know about his preference in sex toys, I could guess why.
So, this is actually like a general question. Has there ever been somebody where you're like, this guy's just too sad for me to cover? Like, has there ever been somebody where it's like, you guys just like have to halt the brakes and been like, yeah, might as well cut the video?
Oh, yeah.
Who for you?
This guy, Brandon Brutal.
What?
Who
is he?
He's some f***ing TikTok guy. I did end up recording a video on him, but it just in a drastically different way. He's just one of those guys with just like Daniel Larson-esque type.
Oh,
this
is
just
the emo guy, right? Yeah, I know who this is.
Emo guy. Yeah, he's just like he just can't. He doesn't have control over his own brain. Seems like.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
I like that. Can we just start saying that when somebody's like disabled? Like he doesn't have control over his own brain.
It actually sounds so much
You may know Daniel Larson is the guy who doesn't have control over his own brain. Well, now he's threatened to bomb the White House. I think that would be good.
Oh my god.
That would be fire. That's good terminology.
So wait, what about for you, like Tom?
I don't think there's anything I've been like, no, that's too much.
I mean, dude made a video on me.
True, I did.
Yeesh.
That was years ago. That was a long time ago. Next Talk to. It was a different era.
Good times.
Good times. It was a different era. It was an era when I was down, but now I'm up. But
Yeah.
But now I think we're all gonna look down. I think the end of our career is this podcast. But yeah, I don't think there's anything that I've been like, I'll never cover this. There has been stuff where I've been like, I'll cover this in a bit. Like when I did Giggly Goon Clown
for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's just like there's only like when you're reading about this shit, it's just like when I read the Giggly Goon Clown script, like even before I was depressed, but once it was all together and I had to read it, I was just like upset by the time I finished recording. Like I was just upset because it's just a video about a bunch of pedophiles. Like at a certain point, that's going to be it's going to put you in a sour mood, right?
I don't know, but your entire content, right, during that era of your content, as you like to put it, it was just like, all right, compilation of 6 whack job files in Japan,
Exactly.
in Korea, in here, and then you would just go through that script, and you're like, but then the story takes a sharp turn when we start talking about the Yandere file, and it's like, oh,
Exactly.
oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was basically the content, and there's a reason I stopped doing those particular videos, just because at a certain point you get tired of talking about. So I'm trying to move into a different area. But although I always find that for some reason with any lolcow that you read about, somehow there's going to be a file involved, whether it's them or it's some other guy. I found that
It's like it's so common.
it's like the fucking what's that
No,
thing
it
about?
is wildly common.
There's some internet rule that's like you'll always end up discussing Hitler or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait, what?
Caleb, you know what I'm talking
I think
about.
it's I've heard of that. I think it's there's also one that I'm more familiar with. It's like always 4 clicks from any Wikipedia page back to Hitler.
Yeah.
It's like within 4 clicks, no matter what, you can always get back to Hitler from anywhere on the internet, basically.
That's crazy.
What is your 4th click? Just like your toolbar on your browser that has Hitler's page.
Just the home button.
Oh, it's
on
okay.
your
Okay.
laptop.
Godwin's law is an internet adage
Godwin's law.
asserting as an online discussion grows longer, the probability of a comparison involving Nazis or Hitler approaches 1. Basically, just to say that like it almost feels impossible to not run into some discussion where Nazis or Hitler are not mentioned, and when it comes to files and lolcows, seemingly it's a part of everything, unfortunately, which is fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the Nazi stuff makes sense. Like, all the political discourse on the internet is just literally about that. Like, shit, we were called Nazis, like, 2-3 weeks ago, so, I mean, shit,
They finally
crying out
cracked
loud,
the code on that one for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. You were looking Aryan
Yeah, but
this morning. Just want to say, you're looking like Hitler's son.
There we go.
Look at him. Look at him.
Dude.
Blonde hair, blue
No,
eyes.
it's like-
It's beautiful.
It's like, even with like, just like, the pedo stuff, like, with YouTube and shit in general, it's like, the amount of, like, I mean, we've seen, like, Smash stuff has recently started to, like, surface up again, too, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
dude, you look at all these communities, and it's like the amount of, like, diddlers that are just, like, sitting inside them. It's,
I don't know, I just feel like you have to realize everyone that makes content, the content is accessible for everyone, right? And you're gonna have kids in your audience. You have 3 million followers. Probably 1 million of them are kids, or 500,000
no,
of them
dude,
are kids. Whatever.
I put
whatever.
minors do not interact in my bios everywhere.
Oh yeah, that'll solve it.
They
Yo,
never
did you
come
put a
in play.
checkbox to confirm if you're over 18? One of those check boxes.
100%,
I heard
dude.
Pornhub did
100%,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah, but everyone has minors in their audience. The minors are going to be the ones that are going to be most likely to just become completely entranced and idolize you. And if you don't have any self-control, well,
I think it is important to note, though. I mean, it is like a very small percentage of the population that engages in anything like that. We just hear about it the most because it's
for sure, for
it's
sure.
interesting to hear about
Yeah.
freaks, right? But yeah, I've been thinking maybe I should change my bio to "I am a minor, don't respond, please," stuff like that. I think that'd be a good deterrent. So I'll have no, because then that way I can't be groomed as an adult. There can be no power dynamic. Like
That's
if
true.
Nuxtaki were to hit me up, I can no longer be groomed because.
wait, what? Let's use a different
Bro, I
analogy, please.
hate that power
For me
dynamic
personally, I'm
shit so
21 years
much.
old.
I hate the whole power dynamic discussion so much because it's like literally it's like woman it's like women cannot decide what they want to do when they're in like a relationship. Like, so you're just saying that they're completely devoid of any form of actual like autonomy? Like, what the dude?
Right.
I feel
The
that way.
stupidest shit
My
that I've
girlfriend
ever
has
seen.
50 million followers on TikTok. I just do whatever she says.
You just listen to everything she's got on you. You're like, yeah, I'll follow it. She knows what's
No,
going
she's
on.
awesome. No, I'm teasing.
If Chris
cool.
tells you to buy crypto, will you buy the crypto?
Probably.
Yeah.
Especially if she promotes
All
it.
right.
Dude, absolutely, bro. There you go.
Does your girl get recognized a lot in public? Because that's a lot of followers.
Oh, it's incessant. It's never ending.
Really?
Yeah, never ending. She's always, everywhere we go, she gets pictures taken with people. Every single place we go.
That's crazy. Damn.
It is crazy.
Yeah. Does she
Does
find
have
that
to, like,
annoying, or
press
does she not
low-key,
give a
like
fuck?
disguise herself sometimes?
Sometimes she doesn't like to be recognized, but she's not annoyed by it, I wouldn't say. She's definitely not like, she doesn't revel in it. But she is very reasonable when it comes to that sort of stuff. Like a lot of the people are just like, they look up to her. It's a very different audience than what we've got. These people are like, you are my idol. I want to be you one day. And so it's like a very different thing. She's always incredibly polite and takes pictures and stuff.
So you're saying that our audience is just like way too degenerate to be around?
No. Her audience is awesome. Well, they hate me though. Ours is degenerate. Yeah, my audience is degenerate. Well, no, my audience is pretty solid actually. I feel like
Your audience hates you?
not all of them. It's like maybe 5% doesn't like me. Maybe a little more.
What do they say? What's the
Why?
complaint?
That I'm like a douche and stuff.
Oh.
I don't know. I think they just don't.
Wait,
I
saw
think
this comment you shared on your
Yeah.
Twitter the other day.
every now and then I'll get like a parasocial rat that will emerge from a hole and then be, just be wishing that they could say, "I wish it was me instead of you," because they're just madly in love with her or something along those lines.
Nice.
And I also did the ghost video with them, with her and her buddies, and like it was really fun. I had a great time, and I was just being a f***ing goober, obviously, because this is like what I do. And there was so many people who were like, the constant micro abuses that he keeps throwing onto his supposed girlfriend, like, he is trashing their beliefs. And I'm like, wait, what? So there was like an actual small narrative of me being an abuser from a ghost video, and I was like, wow, these people are like genuinely mentally ill. This is crazy. This is not the ghost people. 99% of them were cool. 95% of them, I'll say, be more reasonable. But about 5% were like, because I was trying to summon demons, and everyone was getting really scared. And I was like writing runes down and shit, and saying that they'd been following me and all this, and just being trying to be entertaining because I thought that's what we were supposed to do. And there are people who are like, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. You are an abuser. If you do that.
So you go ghost hunting, and the first thing you do is like aggravate the ghosts.
Dude, the
You're
first
like
thing
the
I
one
did.
guy on Phasmophobia that just
Yeah,
like starts
easy.
screaming.
And I make it out though. I shut the door in time.
shit.
When I was a kid, I used to like do rituals and stuff and try to get ghosts to haunt me because I thought it was so cool and I wanted it to happen, but it's just never happened. It just won't happen. I just can't get it to happen.
Do you want to get
Because
haunted
I just
by
don't
the
care,
ghost?
I think. What's that?
You want to get like actually haunted by a ghost and shit?
I think that would be so sick. That would make my life 5 times better.
It'd be a great video.
I feel like we
That's
should
what I'm
just
saying.
go. I feel like we should just do a thing where like
I don't know, I got kind of dumb. I'm gonna get off it now. Kid cities.
She would be good with you.
Things can get dark when you date these celebs, okay? Things can get dark. This can get very dark. This can get dark. I want to watch this old Glink video about Twitch girls. Do a little reflection. Do a little reflection on the state of Twitch girls.
This used to be a goddamn community of gamers, nerds, kids that got bullied, kids that resorted to the gaming world.
Classic train wrecks. One of the most base speeches of all time, by the way. Have you guys seen this speech in full? I think I literally have it, oh no, this is a different old train speech I have bookmarked on my computer. This is classic. I watch this probably once a week, but this is a very, very, very base moment, okay? Glink, Glink doesn't post as much as he used to these days, and some of the videos he posts are not exactly what I want to be watching some of the time, but, sometimes he posts something that's fire, and back in the day, he was on a real tear. Didn't he get banned for this? Yes, Trainwreck did get banned for this, unjustly.
Because the real world was too hard, too lonely, too sad and depressing. Now it's ran by the same that rejected us, the same that chose the goddamn cool tips over us, taking the money, taking the subs, the same way they did back in the day. That I am the goddamn reality check.
I am the goddamn reality show. This guy was spitting.
Trainwrecks is a streamer on Twitch, and this was him expressing his frustration over what seems like an invasion of cam girls onto the popular live streaming site. This rant got so viral that a number of popular outlets reported on the situation and the drama surrounding it. Not long after making these comments, Trainwrecks was banned for 5 days off of Twitch. Incidentally,
Didn't even do anything wrong. Hate speech, really, for young girls. And then obviously, as he points out here, there's this other girl. I've covered this before. This girl was literally pretending to masturbate for donations, and he got like a 1-day ban. And this is part of the problem with Twitch and why so many people have left over the years, because of just the ludicrous, inconsistent ban policy. Like, if you're gonna ban someone for being mean, you should definitely be banning someone for doing software on your website, don't you think, Twitch? But obviously that's not the mentality they want to go for, and I'm not even totally aware of why Twitch has operated this way for so long. Part of me thinks it is because they want to like appeal to PC culture and like the sort of LA, San Francisco progressive type people, because that's where they're from. Part of me thinks it's just like an internal policy they have that they've always been going strong with, where it's like, we've got to be nice to girls. One rumor I've heard a lot is that some of these girls are sleeping with Twitch staff. I don't know if that's the reality. That's an interesting conspiracy theory. Probably pretty unlikely, but it's definitely interesting.
People all over Twitter and social media, as well as the outlets that reported on the situation, were citing misogyny and harassment against women as the main issues here.
Yeah, that's the main issue. Definitely, dude. Misogyny and harassment against women. Genius take, The Verge.
Cam girls, also known as booby streamers, also known as titty streamers, also known as $5 for my Snapchat, have been a thing on Twitch for a while now. And it's an issue that has come and gone throughout the year.
Are any of these girls even around anymore? I have no idea who this girl even is.
However, with the introduction of the
I assume they just get replaced by, you know, the next onslaught, the next army of Twitch women who get famous, you know, wearing a low-cut shirt, basically. I've always had a hard time understanding. I mean, okay, I understand it now because I've like listened to people talk about it, but I've always had a hard time understanding why you would watch one of these streamers. Because if you want to like see tits, there's actual websites, right? There's actual websites you can go to just see girls getting. So why would you look at that? I come to understand that it's because there are guys who watch them to like be their virtual girlfriend, and they like have an emotional connection. And once again, like with the girl that I will be hiring for my stream to profit off of young men's misery, the whole point is the promise, the idea, the implication. It's not the actual, you know, thing itself. So really, I mean, this is part of my business model. These girls are going to make me rich.
IRL and creative sections, it's become a much more prevalent topic. It's incredibly common to see clips.
Didn't this girl... Is this Pink Sparkles who dated Asmongold? I'm pretty sure. I think I recognize the bust.
Like this show up on Livestream Fail every now and then, with people calling into question why this is allowed to go on and why these streamers are not banned. Things were sort of coming to a head even before Trainwrecks got banned. These types of clips were becoming more and more common, at least to those paying attention. And it started to become a real issue for a lot of viewers who were starting to question the direction the site was taking. For the most part, Trainwrecks was just saying what everyone else was already thinking, but with one crucial error. He claimed that these girl streamers were stealing viewers from other streamers. And the White Knights across the internet came out in full force and jumped at this point.
I mean, stealing viewers from other streamers, I think that's kind of dumb, because if you're going to go to Twitch for titty content, like, you're just going to watch that. Like, it's a completely different market. Like, watching Ninja or Asmongold, like, Ninja you watch for Fortnite gameplay. Asmongold you watch for, I guess, whatever game he's playing. League of Legends, World of Warcraft, stuff like that, or whatever, his commentary on various subjects. That's completely different from watching, you know, a booby streamer who says nothing and is just like, oh my god, do you guys want to see my ding? Thank you for the $5. Thank you for the $5. Like, it's a completely different thing, obviously. Like, I don't think they're stealing viewers necessarily. I think they're very different markets, you know?
Proclaiming that these sexualized girl streamers do not steal viewers from others. You had May cosplayer Jesse Cox writing an essay on how this was.
Seeing a lot of crap being posted about women streamers lately. A lot of we have to take back our Twitches for nerds, not just titty streamers that are ruining the community and stealing views. Where do I even start? Secondly, don't shame women or anyone for that matter for streaming the way they want. Okay, you can shame them. That's epic. It's the entertainment business, and audiences enjoy different things. Don't hate someone's hustle. I mean, why not? Don't put your stigmas on others. Well, actually, this whole thing reeks of insecurity. If you think your audience is being stolen, if you fear you aren't as big as you should be, it's not a woman's fault. Look in the mirror, figure out what works for you, deep dive those analytics, and worry about yourself. There's obviously more to say, but this is... I mean, I actually agree with the last part of that. That's actually true. I would never complain about the fact that I'm not getting views because some ASMR girl with big tits is getting views. Like, it's not the same thing, you know? Just make better content, truly.
Yep.
It's just not the case. First off, this is factually wrong. There is zero evidence to support a person who watches one streamer would instead watch you if their favorite didn't exist. Streaming is a personality-based business. While a search for a game might be the gateway, it's the personality of the streamer that keeps them. Oh yeah, it's
it's the personality.
Definitely
It's her personality. She's got a great personality. I mean, to her credit, I mean... She's got a lot of interesting commentary on these subjects.
Personality that keeps the viewers of...
Jesus. Are those real? It's her personality. She's got a great personality. I mean, to her credit, I mean, she's got a lot of interesting commentary on these subjects.
Personality that keeps the viewers of...
Jesus. Are those real?
Streams like this, or
what is going on?
This, watching and donating to the streamer.
Bro.
All personality.
Our trap's gay. Our trap's gay.
This is also a
similar
point that a streamer named Ninja made in a Twitter video.
If they're in a female streamer stream because she's got big tits or she's gorgeous or whatever, they're there for that reason. So if she's,
I would agree with that.
They're not going to come to
Big messaging. I'd say that's a decent argument.
Who's playing, who sucks at a game or something. You know what I mean? Like,
now, these people aren't technically wrong, but they all are completely missing the point. Look, the problem isn't that these girl streamers are stealing viewers from others per se, but rather that by allowing these sexualized streams to continue, Twitch is changing the dynamic of their site.
I mean, I would agree it is changing the culture of the site. It's probably a bad idea to have sexual content on Twitch. I feel like they should be separate things, right? Like, if you want to be a cam girl site, have the cam girls on this site, on twitch.com.
Oh, wow.
Or whatever. And then you can have the actual, normal streamers here. For advertising purposes, it doesn't even make sense to have them on the same thing because they're going to be advertising to completely different people, right? But at the same time, I mean, YouTube has wildly different content. YouTube also, though, is a lot wider in scope, a lot bigger in scope, so it kind of makes more sense, that would be the case on YouTube versus Twitch, which is a much smaller site. And was initially created for like a gaming site purpose or whatever, and then it kind of evolved with time into IRL and just chatting and stuff like that. It's kind of silly to have them on the same site, it doesn't really make sense to me.
It's a site primarily focused on live streaming gameplay, and then it evolved into gameplay plus IRL and creative. And not so far down the road, it's going to turn into softcore chatterbait,
Twitcher bait,
if things continue the way they are. What I mean by this is that if Twitch does not have any hardline rules in place to prevent girl streamers, or guys, from selling sex, then that will be a big part of what users go to the site for, and it will become a part of the site's identity. In fact, both Ninja and Jesse Cox basically supported my point by saying that viewers of these sexualized girl streamers would never watch other streamers anyways.
they're not going to come to Joe Schmo who's playing, who sucks at a game or something.
And that's exactly the problem. These types of streamers bring in a demographic that is completely different from what the rest of Twitch is
We need
catering.
an immigration moratorium on Twitch, okay? No more of the Coomers. We got to keep the Coomers out. We're going to build a wall to keep the Coomers out, okay? It's disgusting, Some of them are good people, but, Cooming? Not on Twitch, all right? Not on Twitch. It's cruel. It's disgusting. It's horrible.
Now, that's not a problem per se. I mean, if you're fine with Twitch being a more sexualized site and catering to that audience, then it's not a problem for you. But it should at least be understandable that a lot of gamers do not want that to happen. Regarding Twitch's enforcement of the rules, this is something that has always been an issue. In fact, the direction the site goes and the type of platform it becomes is way more determined by the rules and their enforcement than by the streamers who take advantage of it.
The problem is TikTok now. There are so many videos that are just women stealthily flashing the camera to advertise their fans. Is that a thing that happens? I guess I wouldn't be surprised.
At the end of the day, these girls are doing what any other guy would do if they were in the same situation. Hustling for their business, even if that means sexualizing themselves for viewers.
Yeah.
So again, I don't blame the girls in all of this, per se. In Twitch's own terms of service, it states that, quote, inappropriate broadcaster behavior and attire, nudity, and conduct involving overtly
It's literally against the rules. I assume Twitch just doesn't want to be called sexist for banning these people, but it's against their code of conduct. Do you guys remember not that long ago, they introduced a new rule, which is now you can have drawn nudity, and then all these furry artists started popping up on Twitch, and then all of them got banned within a day because there was some problem with communication with Twitch. Do you guys remember that? That was an epic moment. I mean, on one hand, it's those people were doing gross stuff, so I mean, they got banned. Major L there. Big L. But at the same time, Twitch said it was okay, so you can't really retroactively just ban them.
Sexual behavior and or attire are...
That's what Morg Pie got famous because she had her tits out and then had a censor bar over it or something. Or no, it was like they were just out of frame, so she was hovering below the camera with this is the bottom of the frame. They're tee hee hee, and you can see them bouncing because you can't see their nipples. It's not technically nude or something.
Yet there is huge gray area as to what exactly constitutes overtly sexual behavior.
And I know so many people
There's no way she actually talks like that, right? This is like a troll.
Such a huge problem with realizing that what I do is allowed on Twitch.
There's no way she actually has that voice and talks like that. This is fake. No woman actually talks like that. No person talks like that in real life. Is she white? Why is she talking like that?
Can wear a low-cut shirt in the 21st century and use it to their advantage.
Pink Sparkles, a popular and
Bro, that picture is crazy.
controversial girl streamer,
She's just like a flower vase.
had a discussion with another streamer, Destiny, in which she basically admitted that in her discussions with Twitch staff, they told her that she was in a gray area with the rules, but she was allowed to be, which makes no sense and sounds totally unprofessional.
And they've even told me, like, I'm kind of in the gray area, I suppose. One time they actually told me that I'm not allowed to do squats for bits, which, to be perfectly honest, I don't really understand that because I'm allowed to do squats for subs.
She's talking more normal there. Like, she's talking like kind of a normal person. So what was up with that voice? Was she just like baiting for attention to talk like a stupid person?
Well, there you have it. We seem to have found the line. I guess it's not a gray area after all. You see, if you squat in a sexual way for bits, that's not allowed. Of course not. That's what they do on trashy
But
sites.
these girls are just like me. You guys literally pay me to take my shirt off. But I'm literally the same. I just realized I'm the same person as them. I'm the same person. I can't even be that mad. Like, I do the same exact... For $100 the other day, somebody paid... I had to take my shirt off. Like, dude, I'm literally a cam girl.
It's like my free cams are chatterbait. But you can squat for subs. That's a lot more respectable and classy, obviously. Beyond just catering to their viewers on streams, a lot of these cam girls also provide benefits to their viewers in other ways, if they are willing to pay, of course. These include things like Patreon and Snapchat, which for the right price can let you the types of lewd pictures and clips that Twitch won't allow. In fact, one streamer even sold her used panties before. It really is kind of a genius way to hustle money out of viewers. And while you may not like it, remember, the onus is kind of on Twitch to enforce the rules and prevent this if that's what they want. And if you're a donator to one of these streamers expecting to get that same...
This clip is so awesome. This clip is like one of my favorite clips of all time. I watched this with the Cheeto. This is like 5 or 6 years old at this point, but this is like a legend.
My God, that idiot looks like my old roommate. I actually really dislike the way he looks.
Cliff, dude, this guy's like one of her like admins or mods or something.
Kind of attention in real life. This
He goes in
is
for the
most
high five.
likely how it will play out.
Eyeballed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Show banner.
Bruh. This guy, where's this guy now? Can I talk to him? Can he be my friend? I love this video.
Oh my God.
I'm a mod for you. Bruh. I would become such an incel if that happened to me.
What?
I love it.
Eyeballed it.
Legendary clip, dude. This guy's like one of her like admins or mods or something.
Kind of attention in real life. This
He goes in
is
for the high
most
five.
likely how it will play out.
Eyeballed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Show banner.
Bruh. This guy, where's this guy now? Can I talk to him? Can he be my friend? I love this video. I'm a mod for you. Bruh. I would become such an incel if that happened to me.
Where I think a lot of people miss the mark on this is when they cite the harassment women face as a response to people being frustrated over the sexualization of the site, when in reality these two things are not mutually exclusive. Streamer Kelly Jean says, titty streamers...
Kelly Jean, wait, I forgot about this girl. This girl, I forgot she was involved in this. This is like a Destiny orbiter now. I've talked to this girl before. She's like she's like Irish or something, or Scottish or English. She was in that clip on the Destiny stream when I like roasted Murkoff the Perk or whatever. You guys remember that? You can hear her in the background. Yeah, this video.
What is the purpose of that comment?
I'm trying to stop them from
That's Kelly Jean right there. I'm trying to stop them.
bullying you because
The purpose would bullying you.
Okay, there is a clear purpose. The clear purpose would be your mom.
All right.
This guy, man.
This is just.
XQC did not like that at all. He thought I was so retarded. He's right.
This is just real prime time grade A in Wagyu.
You got owned.
You got owned.
Your own
No,
bitch.
I-
So awesome.
Yeah, your mom. Wow, no, you. Reverse Uno.
Your mom owns you, little bro.
Oh, you are
El Riz.
El Riz. El. Dude, what the fuck is going? Like, what
You don't know
actually is
Riz.
this? You're definitely a YouTuber. Definitely.
Gangnam Style, bro.
Dude,
You're
yes.
What? You realize
Destroy.
how you sound right?
Wait till you see the.
Despacito.
Yeah. Now you don't have anything to say, and so you're just gonna come over here and just say.
Dame tu cosita. You're owned.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm owned. I'm owned.
XQC don't know you, little bro.
Dude, that was epic. That was like one of my greatest moments of my entire life. And here she is, all the way back then. Titty streamers causing harm to kids, 0. Evidence, global harassment of female streamers, consistent daily evidence. Which one was the problem again?
Causing harm to kids, 0 evidence. Global harassment of female streamers, consistent daily evidence. Which one was the problem again? Harassment is something every big streamer faces. It's not just exclusive to girl streamers, and it's certainly not just exclusive to more sexual streamers. Harassment is an issue, but depending on how you want the future of the site to be, cam girls and the sexualization of Twitch can also be an issue. Renee, a streamer on Twitch, says, if all the titty streamers were gone tomorrow, does anyone really think shitty people would stop degrading and insulting women? Well, probably not, but that has nothing to do with the core issue here, which is the selective enforcement of the
Spit your
rules
fire.
on Twitch's
Spit your
part
fire,
and
Blake.
the direction the site is going with these types of cam girl streams. Also, speaking of respecting women and not degrading them, if anything, cam girls who are only interested in selling sex lower the standards and make it harder for more reserved girls to make it by genuinely playing games and being themselves. There are plenty of girls who
She's just drawing. She's a nice girl.
are not trying to sell sex, aren't trying to milk their
She's just
viewers,
drawing her
and
little
aren't trying to
snake
skirt the rules
frog
of
thing.
Twitch. Yet, arguably, they are affected the most by these cam girl type.
I'm ashamed to say Twitch is a platform that supports lazy females selling their bodies for cash. You are teaching little girls to sell sex because that's what's popular. Make them wear t-shirts and pants, compete on the same playing field as men. Feminism is equality. Spread the word. Based.
And some of them have actually voiced their frustration in regards to the sexualization of Twitch. It's not at all an issue of misogyny or harassment. Although those things do go on, that is a separate issue from the sexualization of the site with the loosely enforced and very vague rules. And for the guys out there that are okay with this sexualization of the site, okay with these loosely enforced rules, and okay with the direction that the site is heading, all I have to say is, be careful what you wish for.
Based, dude. Okay. Pretty good video from Glink. Well, the reason why I bring this up is because this is like the history of the hot tub streamers, or actually it wasn't even hot tub meta at this point, just titty streamers, right? But in the modern day, we are currently experiencing the same problems on Twitch, currently experiencing the same phenomena.
Twitch
and
is
Moist Critical has made a video about it to recap all of it and go over it, which, you know, Charlie usually has good takes, usually does decent research, so I'm curious to see what he has to say and what the new meta is. I've seen lots of screenshots. I saw this one picture of I'm pretty positive it was Mordpie, when she was playing a game, and then the other camera was on her ass, and she had a green screen to show Fortnite on her butt. That's what she was doing. This video is 6 years old. Yeah, this video was 6 years old. This video is 7 days old. So we're gonna compare it to the future, or to the present rather. Feels like every year we get a new update on this stuff. I think the first video on the Tom Dark channel is literally, or one of the first I think the first commentary video I made is about this similar subject. Let's see here. Yeah, this hot tub streamers rant, 20,000 views 2 years ago. And Amaranth commented on this video. Let's see here. May 19th, 2021. Yeah, dude.
Time to talk about tits. Girls who
Okay.
and the culture around them has long been a discussion on Twitch. The last time that it came to a peak was a few years ago. The community was up in arms about the just chatting section being populated by girls who managed to get by exclusively by showing their cleavage to their audience, rather than having anything
They're talking about some of the same
or
stuff
find
Clint talks about here.
for their actions. Today, the same sort of discussion has been kicked
Bruh.
Anna for the better part of this year and gotten no repercussions. And it's not like she even tried to hide the fact that her appeal comes down to her body. She's constantly promoting her
True.
OnlyFans, etc. And despite the
I do
fact
sound a
that
little
a lot of
younger, yeah.
streamers
I
pointed out
was, I guess 18 when I made this?
and selective enforcement, nothing has been done. Or at least that was the case until the last few days. On May 18th, Amaranth tweeted out, "Yesterday I was informed that Twitch has indefinitely suspended advertising on my channel. Twitch did not reach out in any way whatsoever. I had to initiate the conversation after noticing. Without any prior warning, all the ad revenue disappeared from the channel analytics. This is an alarming precedent and serves as a stark warning that although content may not ostensibly break community guidelines or terms of service, Twitch has
ostensibly, that's a big word. She's a genius.
Complete discretion to target individual channels and partially or wholly demonetize them for content that is deemed not advertiser friendly, something that there is no communicated guideline for. This leaves open-ended the question of where the line is drawn. Many people complain about TOS being unclear, but at least there's something to go by. There is no known policy for what results in a streamer being put on a blacklist. As for the reaction to Amaranth saying this, some people have said that Twitch removing ads without telling her sets a bad precedent. They say that she didn't explicitly break any rules, which I would disagree with, while others have said that she had this coming and got what she deserved by making this kind of content. On a side note, streamer Destiny said that this could have been a breach of contract by Twitch.
I'm like
I was quoting Destiny even back then. That's crazy.
95% sure it was a
I don't think I'd ever even spoken to him at this point.
Of my contract, because I read through it a few times. I did.
And the Destiny documentary is literally coming out tomorrow. Crazy.
Fighting over things.
Crazy.
And I'm supposed to have time to remedy breaches. It's like a 30-day remedy period, or they have to inform you if they're cutting off the contract. Like it has to be like a written statement for what.
Was he even in Miami at this point? This was like a different place.
Why? They can't just say he broke it. It's strange they didn't say anything. But also,
I think he was living in
also
LA.
for
That's
Alinity
crazy.
stuff too.
Damaging for Twitch's ad revenue. However, if they allow it, they allow
The
it.
weirdest thing about Amaranth to me has always been that she looks like a model, and then her voice sounds like the president of the yearbook club in high school. That's always been the thing that's thrown me off about her.
Leading many to basically say good riddance. So what is the take here? What do I have to say? This is a rant after all, right? I'm of the opinion that Twitch should allow this content on their site, as should most sites. I call myself a free speech enthusiast, and believe it or not, I think that girls in bathing suits should probably fall under that umbrella and be allowed. Provocative.
However, I would also say, I'm about to say something to the effect of like, they shouldn't ban male streamers and make fun of them. Everybody should be allowed. That's probably what I'm going to say.
Content exists everywhere, especially online. There's really no way to enforce it accurately. Due to the presence of innuendos and frequent abuse of loopholes, nuance, there are so many hypotheticals I can think of for something that could be considered sexual or couldn't. I think it's an extremely hard policy to enforce, and as a result, I don't think that Twitch should really try to enforce it at all. Because once they do, they start having double standards and people get upset at them. I think most websites like Twitch should have a hands-off approach to this. For Amaranth, she will probably be fine because, you know, she's a huge streamer.
Damn. All right, well, what does Critical have to say about this? Liking your own video? I like all of my own videos. Every single one of my videos that I post, I give a like. I don't like my own tweets, but I probably should start doing that because I have the best Twitter account on Twitter. You're just not going to get content like mine, okay? You're not.
Now, I know for a lot of people, Twitch is mainly like a gaming platform, but it's gone through so many different changes that it's more than that now. There's huge events that are hosted there, really high-quality productions, IRL streams. A lot of different content is on Twitch these days, and when you think of Twitch now, the first thing you think of isn't always going to be gaming, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I want to drag you kicking and screaming into the future, because a pioneer has just arisen to really showcase the power of technology. Behold, true gaming in its purest.
Bro. What the hell?
Form. This is what streaming is all about.
That can't be comfortable.
Now, the censoring on her butthole was done by me. I felt I had what streaming is all about.
That can't be comfortable.
Now,
what the hell?
Form. This is what streaming is all about.
That can't be comfortable.
Now, the censoring on her butthole was done by me. I felt I had to just to make sure that this video would be safe to be uploaded. But make no mistake, while live, it was not censored at all. This was the director's cut.
You could see her butthole? Is she banned?
Full-blown poop shoot.
She should definitely be banned for that, right?
Action. Barely covered by, like, the tiniest string of fabric. So last night while I was streaming, chat was telling me that I should check out her stream because they wanted my opinion on if it was breaking Twitch terms of service, like I'm some kind of hall monitor for Twitch. And it just piqued my curiosity, so I checked it out. Her name is Strawberry Tabby, and she was one of the most popular streamers last night while I was on. She was playing Valorant at the time, but she had been live for 5 hours streaming. And I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that this was the setup. So there's the torso cam for like the titties, like so it's mainly like honkers and a very tight bikini, and then a totally separate camera just for butthole, a pure cam, and then like a very tiny box for gameplay. Now, when I was made aware of this, I was joking about it, and at some point during the stream, she went on like a phone call for a brief moment and then came back with a changed. So it seems like she must have got a call from someone at Twitch letting her know that her previous garments weren't acceptable. So she changed into this, yet kept everything else exactly the same. And you could.
Why do you want to see her butthole? That's my question. Isn't it like poopy or something? Like why do you? It's like the butt. It's the butthole. The fascination with buttholes has always been like, and anal has been strange to me. Like, dude, are you Mr. Poopcock? I'm Mr. Poopcock. You shouldn't be fascinated with that. I am Mr. Poopcock.
You can still, of course, see like butthole, anus folds, and everything. Like it's still like you can still see all of it, but there's a little bit more covering towards the crack, like the ass crack top of it. And I couldn't help but just laugh. For a while now, there's been this arms race on Twitch with sexual content where creators have found that it makes a lot of money to do sexual content on Twitch and it builds a huge audience, so they're constantly trying to push boundaries for what Twitch will allow, and Twitch just doesn't crack down hard on it themselves. Like the most you'll ever see a creator get banned for these type of streams is like 3 days.
Yeah, guys who pretend to be straight. Yeah, you know, some would argue that butt stuff is a gateway to sexuality, and I think there may be some truth to that in certain circumstances, certainly.
Creator who fully goatsied herself on stream and she got a 3-day ban. There was another streamer who just fully had sex on stream and only got a 3-day ban. So there's no real risk associated with trying this, and you stand to gain a lot of money from it. So it's not like I'm even mad at her or anything. It's really a don't hate the player, hate the game situation, because Twitch doesn't really do much about it, thus it must be okay with their policies. But anyway, I just wanted to show you some of the clips from last night where I was going through this in real time, and just to give you an update on where things are at this morning, she received a ban, which I'm not taking responsibility for. It's not my fault. You can't blame me, Coomers. I know there's a lot of angry gooners that think I was the reason she got banned, but I am innocent in this. I, like all of you, was just watching the content, and that was it. I didn't report her or anything.
Okay, I think we probably got the gist of that, but yeah, Twitch is certainly in an interesting position with that kind of content. Curious what the future is, but you know, I just wish they had consistent enforcement of bans. There's multiple streamers who are perma-banned right now that definitely shouldn't be, and they technically didn't even break any specific policy. Meanwhile, these girls are allowed to run rampant and just make millions and millions of dollars off of breaking the rules, and it actually benefits them to break the rules, like you said, because what will happen is, like, you go on Twitch, you do something saucy, you get banned for a day, you come back, and then there's even more people. It tends to be the process there, right? It tends to be the evolution type thing going on. So yeah, I would definitely say that Twitch has a little bit of a problem there, which is why a lot of people are leaving, just because of the inconsistent ban policy. Twitch ultimately is part of the past, in my opinion. Part of the past. And be sure to become a member. For $5 a month, they get the members-only podcast and exclusive videos that only members get. Thanks so much for your support.
Ugh.
2023, a series of screenshots began circulating on Twitter and Reddit. Their origin was an alt-chan known as Soyjack Party, and claimed to be proof of a ring of people trading illegal material online, with one person involved even being tied to Chris from Mr. Beast and Finster. While the involvement of these two celebrities is non-existent, what Soyjack Party did manage to find are some of the darkest, most horrific leaks we've ever seen circulated online. These are the Giggly Goon Clown files. And keep in mind, this video will feature stories about a lot of horrible people. I don't endorse any of their actions. This video is for educational and documentary purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. The Giggly Goon Clown joined Twitter in March of 2022. To address complaints ahead of time, he goes by any pronouns. Giggly described himself as a 21-year-old goddess on HRT. Needless to say, the title is well earned. His name is a play on gooning, a meditative state achieved through hours of prolonged masturbation. And there was no shortage of tweets referencing this addiction. For example, break your brain for hentai and waste your life. But that's only the beginning of the sheer degeneracy. Furries, diapers, farts, and scat. If the fetish existed, he had it. So there was the usual stuff like anthropomorphic rats farting in vivid detail, and other even more bizarre plays on social taboos. He was a proud member of the Black New World Order, calling for the extinction of his own race. These fantasies declared white people as subhumans as he obsessed over BBC beatdowns. One retweet includes a disturbing story in which home intruders assault and murder a family. Looking at the news today is basically just watching. This perversion of identity didn't end at race, though. He was fond of degrading himself using ableist language. I've always been infected with the hump virus. I just know it is autism. Humpy humpy. I'd be hard-pressed to explain this further without showing off his original work. You see, Giggly was first and foremost an artist who loved to put his feelings to canvas. Here's a naked minion spreading his butt cheeks. Most of that art was of his mascot jerking others off, or flaunting its brap machine. A few put the clown in more intricate scenarios, like being tied up in a deli meat and barbecue factory, but drawing was just one of the many ways Giggly made content. He also sold captions for as low as $10. This tweet here has several examples of what that entailed. Telling people with autism to ejaculate in trash cans, a woman surrounded by bright green gas threatening to sit on you, or how about Poop Nights, a proposed game mode for the, quote, most cringe of Take laxatives, boot up Fortnite, and every time you die, squat down and push as hard as you can. It recommends players to use poppers and shout poop over and over. Once you've pooped yourself, make sure to tell everyone and squish in it until you're kicked for being AFK. Of course, being an exhibitionist, Giggly frequently shared nudes. He once posted a picture of his bare rectum, inviting viewers to take a whiff. A month later, he filmed himself masturbating to that very photo. What kind of autistic freak huffs poppers and jerks off to pictures of their own asshole while listening to insane clown music? This clown does. It was one of many videos adorned with Autism Speaks as circus music blasts in the background. The line between fiction and reality was blurry as they attempted to live out their wildest desires. It was concerning given how depraved those fantasies often were. Giggly was an open lolicon and retweeted posts about incest. If loving cute little girls is wrong, then I don't want to be right. Meanwhile, it took time to stand against anti-pedo vigilantes. The Internet Anti-Pedo Defense Force is the most awful group of 12-year-old idiots on the planet. You do not need to apologize to these morons, nor feel threatened by them. They raise more than a few eyebrows, and it's only downhill from here. Giggly wasn't just into furries, but also actual animals. That February, he tweeted, "Oh no, my mom bought a dog," visibly throbs in pants. With tweets like these, it's anyone's guess as to how Giggly even remained on the platform. Instead, he got a surprising amount of traction, amassing almost 7,000 followers. These people were just as, if not more, willing to humiliate themselves publicly, with weirdos kissing toilets and putting minifigures next to their penis. That was usually at the clown's request, as he slowly built up a cult of personality. He was quite proud of his ability to get others into his fetishes. "I hope I've influenced at least a few of you gooners into becoming total stink-obsessed fart slaps." Bio has 18 to 20 trans girl in it. Retweets Black New World Order, transitioning from peer pressure. Has fetishes so disgusting she hates herself for them. The latter received over 700 likes. But perhaps what attracted people most was how easy it was to get into contact. Giggly had open DMs and shared his Discord tag. That meant anyone could strike up a conversation, confide in their degeneracy, and then have e-sex. Every so often, he would show some of these DMs publicly. The following are a series of messages he shared on March 11th, 2023. "Hey, I'm done talking to Lolly Mommy. It's kind of f***ed up my mental state and I had a panic attack yesterday, so I'm sticking with normal kinks from here on. I hope you can understand and still accept me, Mommy. Mommy, can you retweet my login information, please? Hey, Mommy, what's a good lolly site with captions?" Everything we've covered so far has been quite nauseating. I actually applaud you if you've made it even this far. But all of it begs a question, perhaps better left unanswered. If this is what they're willing to share publicly, what was kept in private? Soyjack.party is an image board for the creation, posting, and sharing of Wojacks. As the site has grown, its focus has expanded to encompass many other topics. That naturally has included a lot of trolling, with these stunts making the site infamous. They typically go after fetish accounts, especially those with sinister undertones. In early 2023, the site went after CC Femme, a goon addiction BNWO estrogen cult many suspect is targeting children. That's a whole different story for another day, but between the forced feminization and racial fetishization, it's not hard to see parallels. Those similarities are why Giggly became a target in the first place. When users stumbled onto the account, it was hard to decipher if it was satire. I mean, just look at this shit. But many of his posts became memes, with his art and masturbation videos spread across the boards. But they quickly realized he was not only genuine, but a potentially dangerous individual. The initial thread targeting Giggly was created on July 26. It called for him to be doxxed, noting his connections to the aforementioned Twitter circle. They wrote that he lived in Arizona and was studying ecology. One of the earliest replies revealed he previously went by the username Almond Milk. This profile places him in his 30s, though it was later determined to be a lie. Most of the posts came from people exploring his timeline in pure disgust. However, the catalyst of becoming a meme on the site was when he got his own Soyjack. It was after this gem that a second thread was made on /raid calling for a personal army. The clown was inundated with trolls across Twitter and Discord. In response, he posted his own version of the Soyjack called Truthfully. You realize not letting me intoxicate you with my rancid farts is transphobic, right? Giggly then claimed to have always wanted to be a lol cow due to his humiliation fetish. In spite of this, he deactivated his account later that day. Once he returned, he began mass blocking all of them before changing his handle to Silly Gay Clown. The back and forth only escalated from there. Before long, he was sending Nikocado Avocados whole to the trolls and claiming to never post on their dumb site. For someone who embraced being the epitome of cringe culture, he seemed to not understand the pitfalls of this antagonization. With more and more users becoming aware of his existence, it was only a matter of time before he got doxxed. On August 1st, a thread was created simply titled Goon Clown Lost. The post is exhaustive, identifying him as Orion Grant Passmore. It contains not only his personal info, but usernames and passwords. These details were used to compromise his Discord account, which was then scraped and released publicly. Immediately, Orion deleted himself off the internet as trolls piled in. They posted his address on Craigslist, ordered pizza, and sent several religious scriptures. It was everything the original call to action had asked for, but amid this raid was a growing sense that more serious action needed to be taken. Those paying close attention may have noticed an image attached to the original post. In addition to many of the tweets we've read before, it contains evidence of criminal activity. For as nauseating and bizarre as his fantasies are on their face, Orion's reality was even worse. Because it was through these leaks that they finally saw a clearer image of who he actually was, an unabashed predator. The Discord archive not only contains proof he was actively grooming minors, but exposed a ring of pedophiles distributing CP. So much proof, in fact, that he was reported to both local and federal authorities, as people were warned against downloading the file. The following is an
75,000.
logs spanning over
Wow.
100 servers and 170.
They just gave me 125,000 skill points.
Is advised. With how enigmatic the clown was, it led many to wonder about the circumstances that created him. Fortunately, he explained his background several times over the years, giving insight into his childhood. Orion grew up in a single-parent household with a mother who paid little attention. This gave him unrestricted access to the internet, which he found comforting. It became a place of escapism, one that proved necessary after a babysitter apparently took advantage of him. The trauma did irreparable harm, sparking an obsession with
I forgot I shouldn't hire a male babysitter.
By age 11, he was browsing Rule 34, learning about it through memes. A year later, the boy joined Tumblr to participate in fetish communities. This exposed him to sissy hypnosis and racial fetishization. The latter made him insecure as he identified with the alt-right, but he eventually created his own BBC Sissy Tumblr at 14. The blog primarily consisted of original captions, though he claimed to have also posted his own genitals. It attracted over 3,000 followers as the boy got addicted to the attention. For someone who had few real-life friends and went otherwise unnoticed, it was validating. Orion slowly fell deeper into degeneracy, scrawling links to furry sites across his middle school. Yet, there was still a sense of shame as he attempted to quit masturbating several times. Before I was 17, I would delete all my like once every few months in a no-fap fit, trying to get my life back together, and I would just come back over and over. That all changed one fateful night when he finally gave in. I remember going outside completely naked except for my shoes at around 3 a.m. Eventually, when I came, I shouted quite loudly, "Hail Satan!" This wasn't something I planned beforehand, it just happened in the heat of the moment. Everything about Orion's personality changed, devoting his entire identity to Up until this point, he sat firmly in the alt-right with a Twitter that got no more than 400 followers. The account was banned a year after. Shortly thereafter, he created the Giggly Goon Clown, which quickly surpassed 2,500 followers. It was no coincidence this was around the same time gooning became a viral meme. Perhaps he'd been inspired to embrace the degeneracy. Regardless, by 2020, he was posting videos of himself in diapers and selling captions. Sometimes, I feel like maybe an unlikable alt-right loser just to swipe that from me and make me into a perfection piggy. It became impossible for him to do anything else, evident by a journal in which he logged his daily routine. August 21st, 2020, 4 hours of gooning. August 23rd, 2020, 5 hours of gooning. August 22nd, 8 hours of gooning. That regression also included urinating all over his floor, hoping for gingerbread stains and a comfy piss smell. By November of 2022, Orion had over 500 gigabytes of NSFW across 300,000 individual files. He was now desperate enough to beat off while at work. I'm wanking at work because this job. The smell of boys' bathroom as drunk fat bikers grunt and burp and piss loud as while I stroked a cartoon horses 4 feet away from them. He even contemplated jizzing in people's food. What's your job? Cook. Cut the food. I've thought about it. If I brought a little container, I could slip it in the pizza sauce really easily. No way anyone would notice. These compulsions ultimately led him to identify as sexual, going so far as to give up on dating real people. That came after a particularly messy breakup, which he recounted as follows. I would send her and tell her my
fantasies, and she thought I was flirting and wanted to suck my weenie. Then she started asking me to bring her over to my house like every day. It was annoying, so I told her I want to be left alone most of the time, and she just started crying and being like, "So you don't love me?" I realized, OMG, I don't, because you're not even a cartoon horse or something comfy and awesome. You're just a human woman with a who doesn't even like me either. You're just desperate and stupid. I didn't say that, but I told her I was a pornosexual and I don't want to have sex or date real girls anymore. He fell deeper and deeper into the depths of his own depravity and was met with support every step of the way from his community. I'd like to read this message he wrote explaining the difference between his actual self and Giggly. You begin to become more invested with the internet than real life. You feel insecure about your real self and how people don't really like them. Meanwhile, there's all these people online who will give you attention from being depraved and perverse. The second me sort of split away, became someone else, and now I'm someone totally different than the person in here. Giggly, you might say. Giggly does what she wants. She doesn't need my permission. Sometimes she does things and I don't even know about it. I feel like this dilemma is very, very common, but it feels so real to me. Orion wouldn't do these things. He can't. He's so sweet. At least I think he is. He buys presents for his nieces and nephews on their birthdays, visits his parents often, is always wanting to help, and gets all sad when he thinks about the state of the world and just wants to fix it all up, even though he's basically like a tiny helpless puppy. He even put on different voices to emphasize the difference. This is his voice for the Giggly Goon Clown.
I'm just a little silly bimbo.
I would put this in the same vein as his worship of Satan. It's self-aggrandizing and performative, but most likely rooted in some truth. By creating this disconnect, he's able to absolve himself of guilt mentally. You see, there's one aspect to his online activities that's so far been ignored. In a message from June 19th, 2023, Orion admits to having looked at CP for 6 years, starting when he was 15. At the time, he would do so before crying immediately after. However, upon embracing this new outlook at life, one that favored hedonism over any and all morality, he began to feel proud. Bro, I'm serious. I'm such a hardcore pedo. My friends and family have no idea. I couldn't muster the strength to tell my therapist. I'm constantly taking risks and clicking on things and talking to perverts. I have no idea how I haven't been arrested yet. I've given up on stopping. Yeah, if you're planning on clicking off, now is a good time, because it's not going to get better. It may seem like a drastic jump from one thing to the next. To understand how this happened so quickly requires an explanation of his new social environment. If you'll recall, Orion amassed nearly 7,000 followers. Many of these would end up joining his Discord server, Giggly's Cringe Circus. I just want to read the list of channels real quick because it is truly ridiculous. Lewd Gaming, 2D Humans, 2D Furries, Captions, Animated, Audio, Cringe, IRL, Gay, AI, Autism Speaks.
Autopilot jumping. I have to go pee. I'll be right back.
Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active. Approaching Stargate. Autopilot jumping. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
ENWO, Brap, Clussy, Corpo Worship, Diaper Sexual, Drug Addicts, Emoji Sexual, Feet, Feral Fuckers, Fursuits, Hog Sexual, Hypnosis, Latex, Macro, Objectophilia, Photomorph, Pink Pill, Plushophiles, Satanism, Scat, Boar, Bugs Bunny, FNAF Sexual, as in Five Nights at Freddy's, Fap Nights, as in Fortnite, Homestuck, Pony Sexual, Sonic Sexual, Stitch, Memes, DM Me, and finally Hook Up. This server became quite popular among gooners who gravitated towards his dominant persona. They referred to him as their mommy, with the most loyal simps getting a special role. I'm not quite sure why, but they were really susceptible to his bizarre demands. It was something not even limited to direct interactions. Orion was a frequent user of 4chan and often spammed boards with his messages. He went on to receive messages from 40 different people, claiming his insistence got them into farts. I had over 40 people message me saying that they started masturbating to fart because of me. That's literally 1/3 of the people in a 4chan thread. I love having that power. I can just change someone's entire sexuality and make them something else. I'm doing it right now. That power extended far beyond mere fetishes or roleplay. He was able to get several people to submit full control of their social media. They came to him for things as innocuous as what to order from McDonald's. 20 nuggets, 2 large fries, a large Coke, and a Big Mac. Then there were times it seemed to cross the line. It was also that power that got users to cut for BBC and imagine their own mothers getting assaulted by black studs. He begged a user to post creep shots of his girlfriend for him, but perhaps most controversial was his influence on their gender. By his own words, he convinced 6 or 7 gooners to take HRT. He always had a map of clinics that provided it without psychological evaluation. This is extremely concerning given his views on trans issues in private. Now, Orion himself began transitioning in September of 2022, but it had been done with ulterior motives, intentions he only spelled out in private. The first excerpt comes from DMs between Orion and a user named Manadrain. Every single trans girl is a horrible pervert to some extent. I haven't ever heard of one who isn't. I should become a T-slur too, just to pile on. And women don't feel safe around you, dude. They just know they'll be canceled if they don't act that way. God, I wish it would be something worse. Lamau, every T-slur finds out one way or the other. All it took was for you to realize sexual predator equals T-slur. The second was with Goon Goddess 69. Can I tell you a secret? I'm not even trans. I'm just a cis guy pretending to be trans to get with more people. It's so much fun. Like, OMG, I love pretending to be a girl. I don't care if it's predatory or whatever. Don't blow up our spot, bro. All T-slurs are like that. If you can trust me around your kid, it'd be transphobic not to. Me with daycare tots. To Orion and many of his associates, their identity was little more than a political shield. It clearly worked, given he publicly fantasized about assaulting women in bathrooms. Those fantasies, of course, were even more deranged in private. It should be clarified this doesn't necessarily apply to everyone in his server. He was careful to state his true opinions, often contradicting them to those he didn't trust. But among his inner circle was a number of losers, creeps, and pedos who bonded over the increasingly sadistic desires. For example, Orion had confidants to discuss bestiality. He privately sent material to other zoophiles and even instructed them on how to find more. That was while expressing their desire to assault dogs to death. It's only real dogs.
Approaching Stargate.
Okay, get back to it here.
If it makes them cry. Like they loved it though. He was also convincing other users to engage with the material in an attempt to get them addicted for life. He even tried to get someone to abuse their dog on camera for him. That's the level of severity we're talking about, which is already horrifying in this context. Now, you can imagine how dark the story is going to become as we start to approach the matter looming over the entire story. Take a look at the DMs between Orion and Dizzy Ditzy Izzy. In early 2021, Izzy approached Orion for help with transitioning. It was framed with language likening the experience to bimbofication. 2 years later, Izzy was trying to get his dog to lick his genitals and calling his girlfriend's corgi slutty. This was at Orion's encouragement, alongside a newfound interest in lolly. In August of 2020, Orion's original Discord was banned for violating one of the app's zero-tolerance policies. He'd admit in private this was for being a lolly baiter and banned the material from his server. Of course, he made sure to clarify this wasn't over any moral qualms. Just to be clear, hopefully nobody on the server gives an actual single f*** about lolly as a moral question. It is okay to get off to it. It's better than okay. Get off to ToddlerCon. It's fucking sexy. I just don't allow lollies because Discord, despite being the #1 platform for peas, is against it for some reason. Orion's thoughts on the material in private were much darker than mere enjoyment. In an exchange with Goon Goddess, they discussed using it to normalize pedophilia. These pics feel so weirdly wholesome.
This artist really makes pedophilia feel natural and okay. It is. Some conversations indicate he was trying to get people to goon to art of babies. Even more disturbing, however, was the fact that lolly was often used as a code word. These messages are between Orion and Cranberry. He angrily messaged the user for posting actual CP. If you post lolly again, you're gone. Manadrain, a close associate, would admit to thinking of real children when looking at lolly. The owner estimated at least 90% of the people in his server are pedos. And I mean, it wasn't really a secret. Proof exists of members straight up asking for CP and attempting to sell it on the server. Yo giggly, somewhat serious issue here. What, bitch? That I have issues person in your server, they're advertising selling nudes of themselves when they were younger. Pretty sure that's not something good to be associated with the server. OMFG, faggot ass. I can show you the DMs if you need proof, but in the DM channel, they're advertising wanting to talk about P stuff, which I now obviously know meant pedo shit. I assume they were just talking about lollies or whatever, but nah, IRL stuff. No, I don't care. Mind you, Orion was a self-admitted, minor-attracted person. He frequently used emojis of the map flag, and even bought a map pride-themed bikini. That makes it a massive issue given minors were knowingly let into his server. Publicly, Orion expressed otherwise, making sure to ban any kids reported to him. But he viewed those people as snitches and went out of his way to look past it. I only block minors so I don't get in trouble, but I wrote it in a way that makes me seem right. Even stating twice that if you just lie about your age, I won't block you, just in a way people won't be upset with. In a conversation from July 25th, Orion discusses underage sex with some...
I don't like where this is going.
Approaching Stargate. Autopilot jumping. Warping to station. Warp drive active. Approaching station.
Thank you, Jay Aubrey, for the excellent color from Mr. Map. Like, sub to your channel.
Allegations of cheating, abandonment, abuse, and manipulation spread in the headlines.
2008,
every single day except for 2.
I took this amount of privacy from my kids. I'm fully aware of that.
So, John and Kate plus 8 basically ruined your family.
I think so, in my opinion.
Allow me to set the stage here with a little YouTube history. The story of Jesse Wellens and Jenna Smith. On November 10th of 2009, the couple posted their first YouTube video, which featured Jesse pranking his then-girlfriend with a fake mannequin in bed.
What the fuck? Jess! What the hell?
They didn't know it back then, but this single video would mark a new beginning to the rest of their lives.
This looks like a freaking dude's in my bed!
Over the next decade, the two would continue posting these kinds of pranks, building their main channel up to over 10 million subscribers, with a view count in the billions. Their second channel, Boyfriend vs. Girlfriend, is where they expanded their reach with daily vlogs meant to capture behind-the-scenes moments of their relationship.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow.
The goal was to further engage with their massive audience by showcasing a close, intimate look at their lives. For about 4 years straight, Jesse and Jenna filmed, edited, and broadcasted their shared experiences and memories to over 6 million people every single day. As they'd soon discover, however, dominating the YouTube algorithm didn't come without risk.
I don't even know how to start this. This is probably going to be
the hardest video that we've ever had to make.
By spring 2016, the two had reached an impasse. As they slowly grew apart as people, issues had begun to arise within the relationship, and having to put on a happy face for the public every day wasn't helping.
Daily vlogging, you think is fun and games. I'm not gonna sit here and bash daily vlogging, but I'm just gonna be honest. Like, this is the honest truth. Every couple, almost, that I know personally and not personally, that daily vlog together, it always burdens the relationship.
Among other things, Jesse noticed they were neglecting their own relationship in favor of producing non-stop content. On a podcast, he stated, "It was great in the beginning, but then it slowly polluted our relationship and made it toxic. I just felt like we were doing stuff for the vlog and not for our relationship anymore."
And you start losing focus on, like, what am I doing? Am I doing this because I love her? Am I doing this for the video? Like, that's toxic for any relationship.
They then decided to take what would become an indefinite break, both from daily uploads and ultimately from each other.
It's just too much. It's just too much. Daily vlogging's too much. We need to take a break.
These were two people who genuinely just wanted to entertain their fans, but having to constantly maintain and curate an image, pretending things were always great when in reality they weren't, only exacerbated already existing problems. Because having to perform to an audience in your own home every waking day can put a massive strain on interpersonal relationships, and isn't always the healthiest lifestyle for couples or families. When the success of your show is reliant solely on filming your children, for instance, things can go south fast.
Maddie, what would you want to say about how you and your sister and your family are doing?
Maddie, your words.
Was it sometimes hard to tell where the family ended and the show began?
Oh, absolutely. There got to points where I was pushing camera crew out of our house.
To have them come out here to do a big magazine article, to have them come on national TV, does it kind of continue the injury to them?
I mean, there is no injury to begin with.
Now I understand why. All she wanted was legal custody to film my kids.
John and Kate Gosselin dominated cable TV for years with the help.
I changed title. I got a PvP op starting here.
Warp drive active.
Praxis.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
is not. Please turn on.
Active.